Hello, everyone, and welcome to DMV Rivals Winter 2026. My name is GB Shiv, here to guide you through a very different tournament this time around. 18 different teams, 2 months, regular season split, and then a final champion at the end. A lot of new faces, a lot of old glory trying to continue their reign. And joining me to commentate our first game is the Rough Buff and the Hop Tech here in the booth.
Hello,
That's all right.
hello. Yeah, you can
Hello.
please go ahead.
Nah, you good. It's Rough Puff and it's Hop Tech. Who are we watching today?
We're watching the Omelets versus the 4ADC players. I feel like it's a little misleading. I don't think there are 4ADC players on that team, but regardless, that's their name, and that's what we're going to call them for the rest of the split.
Well, seeing as ADC did get buffed in season, what are we, 16 now? Maybe they're at an advantage with so many AD players.
Yeah, it should be good to get into draft relatively soon. I need to take care of one thing on the stream, and I will be quiet for a bit.
There's some haters in the Twitch chat right now. All right, guys.
Wow.
All right, guys. I'm just broadcasting today. As we are going to jump straight into draft, we see that Poppy pick taken away from Euphonia. And the GP to answer that. What do you think about that, Rough Puff?
Uh, Euphonia is a Poppy player? I don't know. These bands are kind of wild. Poppy out means maybe they're playing some Dash champions in the GP. Don't know the pocket picks of these players, but seems pretty reasonable if they want to go for like Lee Sin or some of the Xin Zhao was strong last season. Not sure what the meta is going to be this season.
Yeah, I think they just take it away because Euphonia is known to have climbed very high on that Poppy pick and solely on that Poppy pick. As we see that Xinjia locked in as that B1, very interesting pick. I think not a lot of priority on this champion right now, but it seems like Prone, or sorry, not Prone, Hagalaz wants that pick as his comfort. A support main actually joining DMV for the first time, role swap to jungle, and we're gonna see what he has in store for on that Xinjia.
Yeah, I think one thing to point out is that new jungle, not a lot of invades. I feel like maybe the skirmisher jungles aren't as good. Maybe I'm wrong. Haven't played that much of the new season, but interesting to see it come over from last season. Pointing out the bans, they seem like a lot of target bans. I think, yeah, that hasn't shaken out. So we're really targeting pocket picks or one tricks or just really scared what you're scared of on the enemy team.
Yeah, those pocket picks that Fizz and the Vladimir taken away from the opposing mid laner, or maybe their top laner. Actually, I'm not completely sure what they're targeting because not knowing too much about the team of the Omelets. But I think that's gonna be a Jax jungle and maybe a Gragas top for the side of the 4 ADC players.
Yeah, I mean they do have Jackson Gragas very flexible. I don't know the support, but like can go top jungle support, and then Jackson go top jungle. So they have a pretty flexible draft on the side of red side here. But the Gnar picked up going top lane, doesn't ever go on end lane. But top jungle locked in. Looks like a pretty okay skirmish at 6 type comp. Um, I think it would beat out Jax Gragas for now. And then I think MF is one of the stronger ADs on the match, so they're just sweeping up here.
Yeah, MF might just be more of a comfort pick. I'm not actually sure how strong it is right now. But I have heard that champs that can build Essence Reaver are really strong. Champs like Sivir are really strong right now on the patch, but yeah, not a lot of just data to go off of. There's not really any pro play happening right now, so I think DMV is gonna be maybe there's gonna be a lot of pioneering this split as we learn some new stuff happening around this split. So excited to see what this MF can do as they take away the Braum actually. So I think this is a really good pick on the side of 4 ADC players to kind of negate that MF a little bit. What do you think, Rough Puff, as our resident support main?
I think Brahms like really good at the MF. You just block the ulti, and also it helps against the jungle skirmishes because Xin Zhao is melee. But I will point out that they do have three melee champs on the side of 480
They
players,
do.
so
They
maybe a
do. Yep.
mage in the mid lane would cause these people to struggle a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're gonna be looking to target. Actually, they ban a fourth melee champion. They take away the Silas. Maybe scared of taking that Gnar ulti away and using it against them, but they do need a little bit of range, and I think the omelets need a little bit of disengage away from this Jax, away from this Gragas. So they're gonna be looking to pick those champs up in their 4-5 slot.
Yeah, I mean, if they were really crazy, they could go Gragas Yasuo, four melees for the four ADCs. But yeah, I think they're going to be looking at a ban out mages because any type of control mage would make it really hard to move into the
You see the
omelets.
no ban. The no ban was actually a
Oh.
Sona ban. Looks like they're gonna ban away the Sona. So interesting ban there. But the omelets do have Dragon, who is known to be a little bit of an enchanter main. So um, probably just targeting her and taking away that Sona. As we're gonna see what omelets have as their last ban. They take away the Swain.
Well, it's really interesting 'cause I thought Swain would kind of make the current red side draft kind of cry a little bit. Can't
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
burst him.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a good pick for the omelets, but seems like they just want to take it away from the Saya 480C. Maybe Potato can play that a little bit. Maybe they might play that in the bot lane with Lyrax. Not quite sure, but probably gonna see an ADC pick here, unless
Oh,
they uh choose to take. Oh, the Asol.
so they choose to blind the Acel instead of picking an AD when they know the enemy team has already an AD. Interesting strat, but maybe they're just really confident in the Acel.
Yep.
Uh,
Not, not. I haven't seen too much of this champion actually. As
okay.
Mozzinator gonna pick up that Hui. Um, my mouse is disappearing. Are you okay, Shiv? Maybe he's not okay. Uh, okay, okay. All right, no
You
problems.
have the reference.
But yeah, that Hui pick into the ASOL. I feel like in general, it's not a bad pick, but it's not really the disengage. Okay, so there's that actually the disengage that they probably need from that Milio to kind of just queue away and just provide a little bit of sustain for the whole team during the team fights. But other than that, it's a little bit scary.
Yeah, it's a really squishy comp from the omelets. Like, like it's kind of like an all-rounder comp, but they are extremely squishy, and then I think they can get locked down pretty easily.
Yeah, yeah, not a lot of setup for this MF besides the Gnar ulti either. So could be a little bit hard to get this MF up and running. Yeah, you don't have like things like a Leona, not even like an Alistar, maybe like an Amumu Maokai, nothing like that to kind of set up the ulti. Um,
But
and
what they
even
do have
even
is, yeah, they have a double ranged bot lane, which can like Kai'Sa's not as especially strong laner
yeah,
without
yeah.
hard CC, and it's into Braum, so like maybe early bot lane into Drake pressure is the strat they want to go for.
Yeah, I think with the double range, they should have the priority in lane against the Kai'Sa Braum for sure. But despite that, I don't know. I just think it might be a little bit hard for them to play the fight sometimes. I think they have to show up to objectives first. They have to be there to set up a little bit early, and make sure they can close out the space from the 480C players. Because if they're late, it's going to be very very hard to walk into that just brutal front line. Um,
Yeah,
gonna be can be scared. Gonna be pretty scared from like the Gragas flank, the Jax flank, um, and yeah, we'll
and
just
it's
have to
also
see.
extremely hard to run into an Acel I think one thing to point out I've noticed on this new patch is late game pushing against this ASOL champ is miserable. Like you can't push his lane. But also around objectives, like you said, if they're not there first, they cannot walk into ASOL E. So uh, they're gonna have to do some cool map pressure or push. Like I'm not seeing how they're gonna push out the lanes and get to the objective first without a massive advantage. So pretty excited on seeing how they try and win this.
Yep. And we're getting ready to just jump right in as we get in and we wait for one player to kind of join in right now into the lobby. But yeah, overall thoughts, Shiv. You haven't really given too much of an opinion, but you have any thoughts on the two comps we have here shown to us?
Bro, I muted myself to fix something on stream and then OBS kidnapped my cursor. Like, it was a bit of panic mode. It was a bit of panic mode. I am a general ASOL Braum enjoyer for that good. Just, hey, don't let your ASOL get engaged on and then let him be an absolute menace. So, I mean, I kind of favor the disengage and the late game power that the 480C players have.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this ASOL, honestly. I really haven't seen ASOL in years. Like, honestly, like just such a long time, especially in DMV. Even though it was strong for a period of time, I think last year for like maybe the early bit of the season, but then it got nerfed and then just like it just fell off in terms of pick rate. So I'm excited to see this champion and see what it can do in this new season. Maybe there's a new item that ASOL really likes to build and makes him, stronger than he was before. But this champ also just gets to kind of free scale, just in general. So if Wei can't do enough of a job in the mid lane to, punish the ASOL that just wants to free scale, might be a little bit hard to deal with later.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Like I was thinking about the Braum Hui interaction because I think the Braum Unbreakable is going to play a huge part in these team fights. But Hui's R, when it hits Braum's shield, doesn't just fizzle; it does expand to the circle and do the final explosion. So maybe the Braum isn't going to be as big of a problem in the team fights as we thought because it will melt to both MF and Hui R. But I think after spending all the juice on the Braum, maybe they don't have enough juice in the team fight to clean it up. So I think ASOL free scaling, if they don't land some type of like gank mid lane or skirmish in the mid game on this ASOL, it might be a little difficult.
It might be a little difficult as we just waiting for them to get things underway. Need to address the hate comments a little bit, defend myself in the Twitch chats.
You'll have your time, I'm sure.
I will have my games. Hopefully they go well this Saturday.
But
But
is there anything you
Roughtop
can
has
tell us about these players because you're the historian among the three of us here. You're more familiar with these guys than we are.
Steel Tips and Dragon. I can talk about them a little bit on the side of the Omelets. Played against them back in the winter finals of 2024. I want to say. Very good bot lane duo. Very scary. I think we lost to them quite a few times while making a run into the finals in playoffs and in the group stages. So always have been a formidable bot lane. I'm excited to see them, reunited once again to play in yet another DMV. Yeah, that just Enchanter plus an ADC that has hands is always going to be pretty scary. Mozinator, good friend of mine. I think he's a solid mid laner. Really likes to play those just control champs. Hui is one of his favorite champions. I think he also likes to play a little bit of Akshan, but that's supposed to be a secret, so hopefully nobody bans that against him. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll see it sometime.
On top of it right now. Oh, his secret pick is
the secret fit is Akshan, not so secret anymore, but he does like to play that pick quite a lot, so maybe we'll see it sometime this DMV. It's another champ like this ASOL that we haven't really seen much of. We tend to see just a lot of, comp picks, a lot of things that mirror pro a lot because people are kind of scared to, pick their priority picks a little bit or like pick some pocket picks that they have. I think the like funkiest thing we've ever seen is like I don't know. I can't really remember. I think like Nidalee, we see some of that.
Yeah.
People
We've
just
seen some Gwen mids.
Gwen mids. We see some adventurous stuff from time to time, but generally in these exchanges, especially from previous tournaments, we see a lot of just mirroring comp, kind of playing champs that are strong on the patch, and not a lot of variety. But I think with this new format, we have Fearless, we have a lot of potential to see people dig deep into their pockets and get some of these picks rolling. So very excited to see. I mean, this is game one. They weren't even like forced to pick anything, deep or anything like that. They picked the ace hole in game one against this comp, so very excited to see some more variety here.
Yeah, and I think with the different format setup where if you reveal something here in the very first week of play, that gives teams that play against you in say like week 7 in the playoffs plenty of time to know that you are capable of pulling out those kind of picks. But still, like you said, expect to see something spice here in games 2 and 3, but that ace will definitely something to keep an eye on in game number 1. Should be getting onto the Rift soon because Riot thankfully removed spectator delay from custom games as long as we set this up right.
I hope there's no spectator delay. I'm not actually sure. If there isn't, blame Dimitri. He set up everything. But that being said,
These guys also did
no, I'm just
tournament
kidding.
draft in client, so unlucky.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. They also decided to no ban on the fifth fifth slot for some reason, even though
Even in
everyone
the
knew what
client,
their
yeah.
ban was. Yeah, which is interesting to me. But yeah, we're jumping right in. Hopefully, there's no spectator delays. It says 0 seconds. I'm not actually completely sure what's happening, but yeah, we can talk a little bit more about this draft. I think what we'd like to see from both teams. I think Jax just generally wants to full clear, trying to kind of hit that level 6 because he's not that strong of a champion, at least coming out of the jungle, unless he gets to, show up second, I feel like. There's also not a lot of avenues for him to kind of gank, I think, besides maybe the top lane that can set up for him. Pretty hard to gank. Emilio, MF kind of just gets to run away. Braum, can slow with his Q, but he really has to invest something like a flash early to get something going, I think. So probably just going to see some full clearing out of him. Zenjao, on the other hand, I think it could be a little bit easier for him to get the ball rolling maybe on something immobile like this, the ASOL. Gets to jump pretty
Yeah,
easily.
the Xin Zhao matchup is quite bad in the Jax. It is a very good counter pick by the Jax because you can just counter strike the knockup. And I'm pretty sure you just slam him afterwards. That so if they ever meet in the jungle, it might be a little rough for the Xin Zhao, right?
Might be a little rough, yeah, indeed. But I don't think jungle, counter picks that they don't matter that much. Like I mean, definitely not as much as the lane matchups, right? Obviously, it's going to be kind of hard for Zinjao to be like 1v1ing the Jax, right? Probably doesn't want to do that. But in terms of like getting the ball rolling for his team, being that bruiser, that front line for his carries, I think he's going to be just fine. Also that Zinjao has a little bit of peel with his ulti, can kind of peel away the Jax and the Gragas, so that the Hui and the MF have a little bit more space to to maneuver their champions.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking at the Gragas in these fights because if you look at the carries on the side of Omelets, they have no dashes on either AD or mid laner. So Gragas Bomba combo is like prime time Bomba combo. Blow some flashes, get him out of position. Um, yeah, and I also think it's a little bit of hard to use value with the Xin Zhao ulti with against 4 melees. Actually, not 4 melees. Actually, it's pretty good value into the Asol and Kaisa, but they might just want to skip past him because Kaisa ulti just dive bombing the backline, which again are immobile. So Gragasar tags them with the plasma. Kaisa can fly in. You guys know what the Kaisa build now is? I feel like it changes every season.
It
P
probably
crit.
does change it. It's probably different right now with some of these new
Yeah.
item changes, but honestly, I have no idea. I'm kind of learning things as we play the tournament out.
Yeah.
A lot of question marks for sure, especially around like what metas are, what champ builds are, because I think everything has been shaken up this patch. So
Mhm.
yeah, rough tough as a returning DMV vet. I guess I mean you're not playing in this split, but what do you want to see from the teams overall? Like, what do you think it takes to win? Uh,
I'm
what do you think it takes
thinking,
to win
okay,
DMV?
I usually say top lane is OP, and it does seem kind of OP, like level 20 and free TP, but I think the 6 item ADs, I think ADs can shine this season. Unfortunately, we see still tips on Misfortune right now, which is like kind of the like, low ceiling AD, I feel like, not a lot of micro, but can do like massive damage. But I think like ADs, the 6 items can kind of space glide on the Rift right now. I think they're really looking for ADs to like pop off this season.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think top lane, as far as I've seen, uh, pretty strong. I mean, historically, I think if you've had a strong top laner in the tournament, from the DMVs we've seen, at least I can speak from experience. I've had very strong top laners in the wins that I've had um, in DMV. So I think if you have a strong top laner, you're definitely recipe for success. Um, that being said, I think top lane is just so broken. I think rough tough. We always have this argument that I think top lane has been historically weak throughout the numerous patches that we've had. Even until maybe last year, I feel like top lane has been on the weaker side compared to all the other roles. It just doesn't get that much impact. Um, but now they just kind of buff the crap out of top lane, and you can go to level 20. You're just kind of like, if you come out of lane ahead, you're like 3 levels ahead of the like all opposing or like everyone on the map pretty much.
Yeah.
Um, you get that TP, and you don't have to take TP for yourself. You can take Ignite.
Well,
So
it's
just
interesting that both top laners did take TP this time around.
All
It
right,
was
yeah.
interesting to
Enough
see
stalling.
the combat.
Enough buying time for the 2-minute spectator delay that we definitely didn't need to have be there. We're on to the Rift for game number 1 between Omelette de Fromage and 4 ADC players making their debuts. Gonna show us what they're made of here in game number 1.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're 5 pointing, even though minions have spawned and invades are. Well, I think invades are dead, but we're going for
yeah,
a
this
war of the
ASOL is
realms.
going ADC. I think that's the main thing that we're looking at actually here is that this ASOL champ is actually going down in the bot lane. So that is interesting to say the least. That's not what I expecting. I thought it was gonna be Potato piloting the champ, but seems Lyrax has a little bit of experience playing this little bit of a pocket pick into MF Milio.
Yeah, I mean, it does mean that the Kaisa, with her kind of shorter range, might get exposed by Hui, but you have to feel that Hui's going to be pretty traditional control mage, just getting control of the wave, pushing it in. And then on the bot side, like, MF Milio can be a pretty solid combo as well. So it feels like lane-wise, you're comfortable with these with the switch up on the side of the omelets, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, just from my experience playing against these players, Lyrax loves his pocket pick bot laners. Steel tips, very solid AD carry. Dragon, very solid support. Usually tries to play the ranged supports, but very good at harassing, very good at shield timings and protecting your AD. I think weird comps, but with the players piloting them, it kind of makes sense.
Yep, I think so too. Yeah, I mean that's why they banned away that Swain in the later stages of the draft. They weren't quite sure what Lyrax was gonna pick, and I mean this is the first weird pick. Maybe we'll see many other weird picks from this guy later into the season. A little bit of trading, but nothing too crazy happening in this early game. As like we said, both junglers kind of just full clearing, making sure that just they get strong level 3 before they actually start to look on the map for some ganks. MF actually getting that push off against the ASOL. So yeah,
Yeah,
ASOL
I
not the
think
strongest champ early.
yeah, I think it's also a symptom of having a ranged fort into Braum. Braum zero wave clear does not help on the wave at all. And yeah, that bot lane is pushing in, and we see the junglers both full clearing, but oh my god, 2 tower shots? That's not what you want.
Yeah, especially with the
Yeah, not
Jax pathing up here, Prone might be able to pay a visit to Weirderum. There's no ward down yet. Weirderum knows his jungler's bot side. We'll see how much caution he wants to play with. And it may not be enough, because Jax has made his way over here. Immediate flash, body slam. Weirderum may be able to jump off the minions, but Jax is there to jump on top of him. First blood for Prone.
Yeah, I mean, he completely sabotaged himself there. He just took those 2 tower shots, and then he started hitting the wave. I think when you know that the Jax could be on top side because your Xinjiao is already on the bot scuttle, you need to kind of concede and just TP back at that point. No reason for him to hit that wave there, but loses his life for it. Makes that mistake and loses his life for it.
Unfortunately, he will TP back up to catch the wave, but oh, looks like they're trying to push the wave in as he's trying to freeze, and he will not get the flights off. So fighting the bot lane.
Yeah, we are seeing the exceptional synergy of Asol with the Braum passive, as in absolutely nothing, but surely Isco will be able to make some concussive blows happen with the Jax, with the Kaisa. Just not a lot right now.
Yeah,
I'm
and
interested to see what's going on. Oh, you go.
This is why I hate tricasts.
no. Tricasts are pretty rough, aren't they? I think usually in pro they like tap each other on the shoulder so they can go or
Exactly.
something because they're standing right next to each other, but can be a little rough. As Moazenair, yeah, getting that advantage early. Looks like Potato opted to go that calls. We see some heavy trading in the top lane. Euphonia. Wiederum did lose like a lot of his HP, TPing back and trying to freeze that wave. I thought it was a mistake. Is Euphonia gonna take quite a bit of chunk from Wiederum, and he's probably gonna have to back after this wave is in.
Yeah, he's really trying hard to get this in because if this freezes, he's in a really rough spot, especially against Gragas, who can just rabble rouse his HP back. The fleet footwork is not gonna. It does not compare in the healing that Gragas passive does. So he's in a terrible spot right now.
Yeah, with both sides just resuming full clears, you see Jax clearing up to the top side to his Gragas's freeze right now. Weirdrum should still be able to pick up the minions. Shinzao went for a late invade on bot side. Gets the ward down and going to start up the dragon. So they are going to just say, all right, if the Gnar dies, he dies. We're going to use the bot lane pressure to make sure that we're getting those early objectives.
Yeah, and I like that from. I don't know if Wiederum is actually thinking ahead here, but I do like that from the blue side, which is starting the dragon because you know that Euphonia is probably calling his jungler topside because he's so low.
I mean, look at Jackson's positioning. He's sneaking up.
Yeah, they are going to go.
Oh.
Body slam misses. Weirdrum still has his flash. He's going to get the hyper proc. Bounces over the Jax, and the cast not able to bring the Gnar back, even with the spectator flying all the way around the map. They burned the flash off the Gnar. Probably hoping for a bit more.
Potato Senpai going for a little trade, but it looks like Weirdum wants to get his Gnar off, maybe? Playing in the wave, but Potato Senpai taking a big chunk, but Steel Tips is just base tanking Asol, and it's kind of working because Asol early, no damage.
Yeah, I mean, Asol is scaling, but I am a little bit confused about this Braum pick, especially since it was picked a little bit earlier in the draft. I think it was like the 3rd slot into the MF, like it was a kind of an MF answer. I am, it is a little bit interesting that they opted to pick this Asol up with the Braum pairing. I feel like it doesn't really do him that many favors. Asol doesn't really auto all that much, so yeah, just probably looking to counteract the MF pick mostly. As Lyrax kind of gets the scaling.
He's quote-unquote free scaling, only let up 1 play so far, and that E is going to get him some stacks and the CS, and he's only down 3 CS, so even with the range to melee support discrepancy, not down so much.
I mean, he is free scaling, but they did get that first dragon. The omelets did get that first dragon, so...
Yep, Omelet's able to use another priority in the mid and bot, but we've got a bit of fighting in the top side as Weirdrum gonna go mega. Gragas is no flash. Shinzao is working his way up, but the Spectator decides the bot lane is where we want to be. There's the cast for maybe some attempt at a disengage, but Hagalaz is up here. And Euphonia gonna try to maybe get a minion. He'll get one. He'll go down. Weirdrum getting his jungler involved on the top side.
Looks like really good gank by Hagalaz. Euphonia is going AP. I wonder which fiendish or not which item he's going to be building in the top lane. But full AP Gragas is very dangerous, lots of damage, and kills even out, golden even out, and jungler's back to farming.
Yeah, might be opting for that Ludens. I can't imagine that. It could be Seraphs as well, but he doesn't have a tier. But it might be that Ludens for like that one-shot potential. I mean, there are a lot of squishy champions on the omelets, so probably just looking to like throw a cask in there and just do tons of damage. And that Lunen's actually got a little bit buffed there, or this patch, so might be looking to see that
They have
on the top
moved
one.
Isco up to the top
Oh.
side for these grubs, which means Lyrax
Wait,
is
Lyrax got canceled.
stranded. He'll be okay for now, but Void Grubs at least all three actually going the way of Hagelas, so moving the Braum up didn't result in anything. They're now maybe trying to hunt on the Shinzao. Concussive blows. Kaisa trying to pop this one for the first time this game. It's going to be blocked by the Crescent Guard, and they cannot convert onto the Shin.
Yeah,
Wow,
he ends
blowing
up
up
getting
the
away
drone.
with his life as well. Honestly, I don't know how many grubs he picked up. I think it was all three.
You got all three?
It was all three. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's just a jungle kingdom. I think this guy has been all over the map, making sure his top lane got ahead as well, while making the most out of that bot lane pressure and got that dragon. So, just an amazing early game performance from Hagelas here.
Yeah, that's what we want to see the Shinzao do, right? He's going to have the advantage in these early skirmishes. Bit odd that I think as a team you would have liked to prioritize those grubs more heavily and like commit to the full plan of bringing the Milio up, getting ready for whatever scrap comes out. But he gets 3 grubs all the same, doesn't give up his life, and puts his team in a solid spot as we see Meganar on top side. Weirdrum able to fight back a bit, but Prone is up here. Meanwhile, the mid lane Muzinator trying to get the solo kill. Barrier comes through from Potato Senpai. He'll be alive for now. Meanwhile, on the top side, Weirdrum stunned up by the counter strike. Still going to be a solo kill down in mid. It's flash forward. Prone trying to hunt this one down. 2-man body slam from Euphonia. Delivers the first kill. Now they're looking for the second as Hagelas is not going to be able to fight off that Jax. It's 2 for 1 across the board, with Muzinator being the lone standout for Omelets.
Yeah, Muzinator really clean solo kill onto the Kaisa, while the top jungle, as we kind of pointed out, Jax beats down the Xin Euphonia is able to live long enough because Gnar has no AD in his build at the time of the fight. He's just sitting on Merc Treads. All he had is base damage trying to beat down a Gragas who's pretty tanky, all things considered, with his passive. And then just the extended fight goes the side of the 4 ADs.
Yeah, not much to say there, but I would like to see some more pressure maybe down on the bot lane, but they're not making it easy to gank this ASOL. Maybe this is what the Braum is for, kind of just that disengage away from the ASOL so he can just breathe behind that wall of his front line. But Prone is pretty accelerated off that top lane play, and that's just not what you want to see from just a hyper-scaling champ like Jax.
Yeah, with that Triforce already in tow at the 11-minute mark, gonna make Prone a pretty sizable threat. Is it enough of a threat to really challenge for this second dragon? As we have Gnarl topside cask angle, not quite bringing the Meganar under the tower. But here comes Prone. Once again, back again, tearing Weirdrum to pieces. And that should be another kill for the Jax. Meanwhile, Muzinator taking a bit of the first bad trade of his lane, but still A-okay. It will be a second dragon start off that knowledge. Prone was top, though.
Yeah, I mean, Gnar is pushing the waves under the tower looking for extended trades, but he has 2 wards. And he's not placing any of them before that top play. Ooh, that flash.
Isco wanted to walk up, make sure that his ASO got the minions, loses both his sums to the bullet time. Hextech Dragon secured, and now they're moving Shinzao down, perhaps for a play here. But with 5 minions, do they really want to make this work? And it looks like they'll try, but Lyrax just able to fly away. Will be a lot of tower damage, kind of just like they draw it up on the MF Milio lane as Potato. Taking a lot of damage, spiraling despair from Muzinator. Now Killer Instinct back in to pick up the shield, but Muzinator still blows him up. And a second solo kill for the Hui.
Yeah, this switch up not really working in the favor of the mid bot right now. I feel like I don't know if this is actually true, but if the Kaisa were to go bot as he dodges that, we're gonna see some more Prone action in the top lane.
I guess who's back? It's Prone. And now the cask this time sends him the right direction, but Meganar 2 under the tower has the wall up stun. Prone's in a lot of danger. Trying to leap strike out. He'll die. It's 1 for 1. Weirdrum getting whatever he can in the exchange.
Yeah, around the map, it seems like they're just trading their Gnar, who is able to get the trade kill for 2 drags, and a lot of plates on the bot side. It's really nice by Muzinator to get this mid advantage all by himself against the Kaisa. is making the gold really even, and he's getting himself really ahead just off of solo play. But the team's strats are pretty clear here. Stack Drakes, accelerate bot into the free scaling ASOL, and hope that topside can give you enough of an advantage. Don't know if it's going to be enough, though.
Yeah, I think Mazinator will have all eyes on him from the side of 480C as well, because although he is very strong, he's also an immobile mage, and I feel like it can be quite scary with a Fed Gragas kind of, piloting your champ a little bit.
Oh,
As we're going to see engage on the bot lane.
Yeah, Glacial Fisher hits on the steel tips. He's going to be able to flash away. They do not want anything to do with this Jax right now. Doesn't matter how far ahead they are. Is going to be an important summoner if we see an all-out dragon fight in 3 minutes.
yeah, another thing to point out is that the best two Drakes are gone. So since they're playing to Soul, they can't get Hextech or Ocean. So what's the next Drake?
Spectator's
Do
a
we know?
bit bugged. We are dealing with Chemtech Soul.
Ooh, low roll on the Drakes, in my opinion. I don't think Chemtech Soul is that great.
Yeah, probably not great for this team in specific. They're not really looking to sustain fights. They're kind of looking to do damage. And
Oh,
Spiral
another-
gets
of their
there.
ulti
Does he
land.
have a Severing Bolt? Barrier comes down. It's
Oh
nowhere
my.
near enough. And now the Fear trying to get Prone
Oh, Jack
away.
comes
And they will successfully disengage. Mozinator putting on a mid lane clinic against the pocket pick.
Yeah, the lane swap not working out so hot so far, but Kaisa is going his Q evolve, going static shift to wave clear. Maybe he'll scale, but this play is very, very accelerated. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, Lyrak's gonna be able to
Oh,
fly
oh,
past the
cute.
soccer ball and flash past the wind becomes lightning. It is still an entire tower dropping at 15 minutes, and Lyrak's dropping a meter to interrupt some backs. To the best visibilities, just make sure his Jax can secure that Herald on top side. It's been pretty split map throughout this entire game. See the Gnar down about 30 CS as he picks up that wave. Aesol down 25 CS as he picks up his wave. So,
Yeah, and I
as
think
we
that,
said,
that's what
very
the
clear
game plan
plays
was.
from both sides.
Yeah, that's what the game plan was. Ever since they picked that ASOL, the Jax knew he wasn't gonna go bot. To gank for this ASOL, there probably wasn't gonna be much happening on the bottom side. But Wiederum, time and time again, has overextended in his lane and gotten punished by Prone for it.
Yeah, but I think his team game state is quite good. It's 3 Grubs, both Drakes. They've lost the Herald, but they are up a bot tower and they have accelerated mid lane. So a lot of it is because of this mid lane advantage that they're in a good game state. But with that advantage, they are ahead. But I will say, looking at the items on the enemy team, this full AP Gragas, the Ryalize Aesol running / not getting blown up, like positioning in these team fights is going to be super important to utilize this lead correctly.
Yeah, Potato's going
and
to get
this
tagged
dragon
by the
is-
wind becomes lightning. Hellaz is going to go
Oh.
for the fight. It's going to be 3v3
Good Gnar,
by the river.
right?
Prone trying to just put down the damage as the Jax. Hellaz has the crescent guard. Mozinator trying to make
Ooh,
his
the
way
flank.
over. A lot of damage from the way, but
Good
isn't enough
play.
bullet time over the top. They get 2
Oh
kills.
my
Now
goodness.
Prone trying to go off on the backside, but he's not able to kill off Dragon. But Steel Tips is still in his sights. Another leap, another counter strike, and Steel Tips is down. Prone flexing his muscles, and now the 2 Fed members get to go at it. Mozinator not
Oh,
able to
no.
find the fear, and Prone just gets to whack him upside the head. A triple for the Jax. Prone, a man of many talents, a man of many roles, and he's 6-1-3 to start us off.
Wow, an all-out brawl in the bot lane where the flank way and then the bullet time over the top actually deletes 2 members from the side of 480s. Oh, pass.
Oh, a beautiful cast body slam. Only gets 1 tower shot off, though, as Weirdrum flashes away. Nice angle from Euphonia.
Blows of top lane. But back to the bot lane, I think Prone dodged so many crucial skill shots there. He sidesteps a soccer ball, jumps onto the Milio with his counter strike up to reduce the damage from steel tips, and then he also sidesteps the fear from Mazinator to finish off and clean up the entire fight. Excellent play from Prone.
Yeah, Mazinator was looking to clean up that fight. I mean, he had such a nasty flank into that MF ulti. Looked so good for the omelets, but just fell flat after after Prone crucial sidestep on that Wayfear. Able to clean that up and get the dragon.
Yeah, and with the Fed member being the one to go down, it was a pretty big shutdown into the pockets of Prone. As Potato Senpai, gonna Killer Instinct on forward,
What?
still hit by the Spiraling Despair. He's taking a lot of damage as the Kaisas and the Severing Bolt does so much damage. All right, Potato tried getting something back for the ego, dies all the same. Now Euphonia just gonna 1v1 Hagalaz, and meanwhile in the river,
What?
I mean, are we gonna kill the Shinzao guys? Guys, it's a free one.
Letting him
We're
go,
gonna
okay.
give it to Euphonia. Prone, I don't know if we're gonna call that BM. We're gonna call that efficiency. It's a solo kill for Euphonia, and Herald dropped in top.
I think going top
4
lane at
AD's
this
kinda-
point is a little bit of a bait as
Oh!
Steel Tips.
Oh
Oh, the
my.
Breath of Light doing good work.
Wait, what?
The disengage though from the soccer ball, and now bullet time
Oh!
on top of the slow.
What?
Lyrax gets too aggressive, and he just eats his second death of the game.
What a turn by Steel Tips and Dragon. I thought Steel Tips was dead for sure there, but Dragon, beautiful soccer ball, uses probably both E's to keep her AD alive, and then the bullet time, Lyrax has no way to get out of it and eats the whole thing. Really nice turn. I thought he was dead for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Omelets, their mid bot side is just doing everything they can to keep themselves into the game. As I feel like top side is a little bit of a void. Like everyone who goes up there kind of just dies and gives their life to Prone and Euphonia. It happened to Wiederum, happened to I think Hagalaz like twice or three times now. But yeah, I feel like they need to just keep playing around their strong sides or the strong members right now.
But the thing is, it's really hard to play to them with very little engage, and the bot side of 480s is not doing bad. Like, it's a scaling Acel who you can't really push against, and then Kaisa will, like, maybe can't sideline against the Quay based on what we've seen, but is scaling 2 items, upgraded boots, thanks mid lane quest, but, like, she's not super far behind, you know?
No, she's not. No, she's not.
If I can remember the gold button.
X, I believe. I think it's X.
Oh, beautiful.
There we go.
What? How is she only 400 down? Like, what is going on here?
I'm not actually sure if she picked up maybe like some sort of tower gold or some sort of shutdown, but yeah, she's only 400 down.
Oh.
Interesting.
Prone gets interrupted on his jump, but they're
Beautiful
still
soccer ball.
trying something off the Ryle, I suppose. Proto belt from Euphonia. He can't track down Weirderum this time. They do make some space. Isco gets some health back from the fruits. But we're not starting Baron at 21 minutes. This is not Otacon.
Uh-oh.
As
Rylai's.
Hagalaz going to run to bot side as Muzinator continuing to leverage the advantage in bot side. Even if the gold lead isn't that much, he has a pretty solid experience lead that's going to materialize itself in a lot of bonus stats over Potato Senpai. And he's definitely in a very comfortable position, at least in the side lane.
Yeah, it really looks like it's Prone and Euphonia versus kind of everyone else at this point. Lyrax is still slowly scaling. Potato Senpai getting pushed in by Hui. They had a good look, trying to like play off the Rylai's throws from the Acel, but Wiederum, good escape, and we're back to waiting. But Baron is up. We'll see if they position around it.
Yeah, we are going to see a dragon up in 30 seconds. Is it still going to be waiting from the side of 4 ADC players, or do you expect them to really tussle for this one?
Like I said before in draft, I think they have to get the jump on this control. Mozinator is in the bot lane right now, having to collect this wave from the Kaisa pushing it in, as Hagalaz is going to get engaged on, actually.
Yeah, Glacial Fisher gets dropped, but, I mean, they can't convert it into much. Prone can't get on top of him.
That's a big cooldown, though. That's a big cooldown. I think Mozinator, if he's able to connect with this mid lane push here, I think they might be able to actually play this dragon with that Wiederum TP.
Yeah, Lyrax
Jax is going
also
to start it.
Yeah, Lyrax also
Euphonia
nowhere
has no
close
TP.
to
It's
a
a
darkened
4v5.
sky. As Prone actually gets a
Uh-oh.
lot of damage off it. May have been over aggressive from Hagalaz. The Shinzao Crescent Guard goes up, but he still goes down all the same. Now Prone hunting for that backline. Jack's ready to prop the Grandmaster's might and show just what he's made of as Steel Tip's forced to flash over the wall. Mozinator is around. He's on a ward. He'll have to show himself out as, meanwhile, on the top side, Weirderum gonna gnar for disengage. Mozinator cannot really approach for any sort of miracle play. And it looks like Dragon should be going to the side of the 4 ADCs.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying. This is what I said in draft. It is very, very hard. I mean, obviously, the Jax is also very strong. He's actually like legit Thanos. He has that Zanya's component as well. So super hard to take down, but it's just so hard for them to walk into like the complete, control of the Jax of that ASOL as well.
Oh,
As we're gonna
Euphonia
see a
went for a
dive
play,
here.
and now he's got no body slam. Steel Tips tanks up a lot of tower shots, putting out the damage. Now
Uh-oh.
Euphonia re-engage. Raiderum in a lot of trouble. He's gonna die, even burning the flash. And with Isco rotating up here, they should still be able to get this tower. But Euphonia able to get something out of that play.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Steel Tips
think-
just hit this tower. There we go. A little scary there, but I think we just
Yeah.
really need to see Mazinator, come to these team fights a little bit earlier. Maybe have Wiederum try to match the Kaisa a little bit. But that being said, Wiederum kind of is doing the right thing of kind of stopping Euphonia from leaving the lane, because I feel like if Euphonia is at these team fights, it becomes even that much harder for Mazinator to play these fights. Because of this full AP Gragas with a Rocket Belt and a, what is that? Storm Surge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, Wiederum did have TP while Euphonia did not for that drag fight, but I think he couldn't get away enough, like, because he might have gotten cast out of it. So he just did keep him company in the top lane. But yeah, Mazinator couldn't move from the bot wave to connect with his team, so they had no way to jockey for position into the drag. So just getting chased down by Rylai's slows is kind of what happened. And also, I want to point out Isco's items. I think Battle Pipes is just overpowered. I think that item is so overtuned. It's just one slow, and your entire team has like Shrelia's and attack speed. It's quite a strong item. Like 8 seconds, 20 move speed, 30 attack speed. It's like you hit one Q and your team can go. So
Yeah, and when he's not around the Ace Soul, that attack speed can actually get put to use. As Potato Senpai doesn't have much to do in this 1v1. He's down 2 levels. He's going to try to flash to do something, but he just delivers himself to Steel Tips.
Good attempt at the outplay. He almost had the damage if Steel Tips maybe didn't arrive in time. 3 attack speed items, but Wiederum, good. I guess you want to count that as a solo bolo. But yeah, it continues a little black hole in the mid lane while the rest of the team is pressuring. But honestly, they don't lose too much off of it. He's up in 20. I don't think Wiederum can get it to the tower. He'll be able to catch the wave at the tower. We'll see what blue team can do with the 4v5.
I think what 480C should have done on that timer that everyone was moving topside, they really should have pressured on Mazinator there. They had a large timer to do so. They did take that vision, so you can see that vision down in the bot side of Omelets. But they didn't actually attack that tower or Mazinator, so I think that was a little bit of a misplay by them. As Lyrax has to just fly away. Not really much to see there. But yeah, Mazinator hasn't really had to be under pressure much this game. But yeah, I would like to see him, as Dragon is going to have to flash. Would like to see him group up with his team a little bit more and stop playing side lane. So they can maybe start to get some of these objective controls.
Yeah, they've been able to
Yeah,
get
I'm
all 3
interested.
outer towers at this point. They can try to push forward, assert themselves in the enemy jungle, get some good vision down, and then make sure that they are the ones on the objective first, with dragons spawning in a minute 20.
I'm thinking that, yeah, we really haven't seen the pick potential from the Gragas and the just ASOL flying on immobile carries with Rylai's. Mazinator mostly because he's just been in his bot lane. But yeah, Asif is, Hot Tech, you are correct in pointing out that he's just been camping in his bot lane, protecting the tower. I don't know when he's going to get involved, but he is the strong player on his team. Besides Steel Tips, like pumping out damage with DR. But without Mazinator showing up to these objectives, they can't really jockey for any objective control.
Yeah, but they're going to actually show up on Euphonia, who gets a lot of damage down onto the Milio, but dies all the same, and that is 40 seconds before Dragon. It will mean mid tower is likely to fall. Potato and Lyrax tag team in that one. Should be able to clear that away, push out the mid, as Steel Tips can actually put down a bullet time with not
That's
much
crucial. That's
setup.
crucial.
Yeah, looks like only one wave hit the ASOL as he was flying away, and then no other slows to keep them in the bullet time. So it is.
Oh, and now they're
why
circling
are they
onto Steel Tips. He's
45?
tagged by the disgusting blows.
Mazinator-
Hagla's trying to go in and make some space, but Prone just goes right over top. Meteor gets dropped on Steel Tips. His head is now Potato Senpai in a good bit of danger. Hagla's now maybe wants to disengage. Prone with a double stun on the backline, but Milio trying to peel them away. It's going to be a battle on two fronts, and on one front, Shinzao's going to die on the other front. Prone goes golden, trying to stay alive here. Hui pumping out a lot of damage, but no one's dead. Just gets Severing Bolt flashed away from Isco, but here comes Weirderum. Slaps down the Braum as a Severing Bolt goes wide. The Gnar trying to push on forward. Prone trying to get involved, but he's just another kill for the Mega Gnar.
He was Euphonia. Euphonia TP.
When he TP's in, he has the flash and go right on top of Mozinator, but can't layer it all together. The flash from the Hui gets him out of there. As now Weirderum in a whole lot of danger. He gets too aggressive. He has to burn the flash. A whole lot of sparks, a good bit of carnage, but Dragon still remains up.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. I think Mozinator has to be in those fights very early on, or else it's just so easy for them to, as we see an extended fight, you're actually Euphonia gonna get CC'd up.
Euphonia's probably gonna have to phase rush out of this one, but that's not enough. He does at least give his life up for the Dragon. There was no smite. They didn't want the Hui to throw in a QQQ or anything like that. So they get themselves their third consecutive Dragon. Doesn't matter how many they conceded in the early game under the pressure of this MF Milio Hui lanes. They are the ones on Soul Point.
You can see how much damage this Hui is pumping out, but he just needs to be in the right position at the right time so that he can actually, you know, help his team, you know, make these winning plays and actually get on top. Because if they're losing their MF at the start of these fights, it's not a good look.
Yeah, now they're calling the shot onto the Baron. Isco's going to be knocked around by Hagla. Spiraling the Spirit going to hit on top of the Braum. They're expending a lot as here comes Prome on the backside, but he's feared away this time. Trying to get the Counter-Strike up. Trying to look for some way out of this situation, but it's played beautifully by the Omelets. They just need to lock down a few extra kills. Potato Senpai, Killer Instinct for a bit of extra distance. Steel Tips, though, hot on his tail. The strut means you're never getting away. You're never getting out, as Prone should get out, especially with the Squire's Broom speed denied. Lyrax just stacking as he needs to do. Look at all those stacks. Let him go. But he may have given up his life for it, as a lot of damage from the Hyper Proc. Another auto does enough. And Weirderum with the Serix is not going to survive. Back onto the Baron goes Omelette de Fromage. Euphonia on the flank, has the full AP. Cast ready to go by him. Does massive damage. The jungler's out of the picture now. Prone going to re-enter. Cast out to Mozinator. Euphonia gets the double. He sets up his jungler for success. The Zonias from Prone means Steel Tips will find nothing in return. Baron goes to the 480Cs with now opening up a 4K gold lead on top of it.
Yeah, 480s pulls up with a TY4 leash. Gragas Bomba full AP. He blows up two people, or blows up one, finishes off the other, and then Prone is able to get in the pit, press Zanyas, and then you let Euphonia kill Steel Tips. So they get the Baron, they clean up the fight, and they are just prime position to take this game. It's Baron, push, Soul, and the game, I think.
Prime position to take this game. Yeah, I don't know if it was Weirderum, you know, maybe chasing a little bit too long, or maybe the Baron wasn't even possible to begin with Euphonia still having that the cask and that angle. But that Baron is gonna hurt. And that Soul Point, they have 3 Chemtex Dragons in a row. If they get Soul, it might be just like so difficult for them to manage to kill off anyone on the side of 4 ADCs. Mozinator does do, you know, just so much damage. 7 and 2 and 5, has almost 4 items. But if he's not, you know, in a position to actually get some damage down, as Lyrax gonna fly forward.
Here comes a meteor on the Steel Tips. The cask is not gonna be lined up though, so the MF gets out, but still tanks a whole lot of damage. As no Mozinator has to try to move over to clear this way, but I don't think he's gonna be able to.
A flank?
Shinzao is not going to go for anything too aggressive here. Weirderum, though, trying to hop forward. They're going to go for the play. They see Lyrax on the ace, so bullet time over the top gets the job done, and they keep Euphonia in it just a bit longer, but he's still able to survive. Euphonia, quite low, Severing Bolt, not going to do much when he's not isolated.
They have inner track into midwave. They can take this tower all the way to a T2. Bit of a blunder from Lyrax there. A little bit of a misposition error as Hagalaz is able to find that pick with the help of that bullet time. Huge counterplay by the side of the Omelets. Gragas flanked though. Watch the Gragas flank.
Euphonia's back. He's looking to start the party. He's got the cask up and ready to go. Bit of a failed crunch over the wall. So we're not going to see too much. Euphonia still maybe lurking around. Proto Belt up, no flash.
Good dukes.
But I think
Oscillator has flash. Steel Tips has flash. It might be a little hard.
it doesn't look like they're going to be able to force anything out. Euphonious just going to scout with that barrel. We are going to start to see some of those added season benefits come into the top lane now with the 33-minute mark. Euphonia hitting that Forsaken level 19 here in season 2026.
Can you check the gold? I feel like this Kaisa might be ahead of the way. Oh god. Yeah, I was looking at Kaisa's items, like those are some expensive items. Like she's gonna be pumping in these team fights. Uh-oh.
Yeah, 30 CS, all that objective gold, all that tower gold. They pretty much got everything on the map. So it doesn't really surprise me all that much.
Oh, but actually,
All being said,
Hagalaz might be
Hagalaz-
caught out. No chance for a Shin Zhao ult in return. Weirderum dies as well. And Omelets are caught sleeping as Spiraling Display goes haywire. And Mosenair now missing a very important tool in his kit. They're going to bullet time onto Lyrax. They're trying to just section off the Acel. He takes a lot of damage. He actually dies. Severing Bolt does enough, but now Potato Senpai ready to fire off in this
And they
fight.
killed
The
him.
does
Oh my
nothing.
God.
Potato going to evade the
Kaisa?
grasping maw.
Oh my
Steel Tip still
God.
firing off. He finds a second kill with the help of Mosenator. And with the Jax doing Dragon, that was maybe an ill-advised fight, an ill-advised bit of hubris. But it is still Chemtech
what?
Soul. It is still a good advantage to the 480Cs.
Yo, might need to start banning this way. This is insane gameplay from Mosenator.
Yeah. He's doing some insane stuff. Even down goal, he is chunking people, finishing people off out of range. I think Lyrax thought he was safe, and then the impact, what is it? Something like the thing that comes from the sky, snipes him off screen, and then Steel Tips just has so much base AD, chunking people like with one auto, one Q, doing like 500 damage per. The two damage dealers from the Omelets just cooking them up without the Jax there to counter strike and disrupt on Dragon. Just really good comeback. They kept the gold disparity at 4K. They're getting their items. If 480s aren't careful here and take some more odd numbered fights, like it's not completely won here.
Yeah, I mean, 4ADs right now, they do have that Chemtech Soul. Gonna be pretty hard to finish off once they're lower HP. But I mean, Mosenator is doing so much damage. I feel like nothing is impossible right now for the Omelets. If he can just get in that position, like I said, in the right time, I feel like, you know, 480s are doing the right thing. They're making sure that they see Mosenator on the other side of the map, and then they take the fight that they want to on their own terms. So they're doing a good job so far. Let's see if they can close out this game with that Chemtech Soul.
Yeah, I do think Mosenator really taking it upon himself this game to be the damage. We look at how this build is going. There's no Zonias. There is no second chance if the Jax gets on top of the Hui. He's trusting in his Milio to keep him safe, trusting in his own positioning, because if he's gotten on top of, it's night-night, and I don't know if an MF in the late game is going to be able to contend with the Kaisa, with the Jax, with the Acel in a pure team fight. As we see 480C still setting up around the Baron, spawning in a couple seconds, making sure to push out mid-wave, get their vision, take all the needed precautions off the list. Teleport available for both top laners. Euphonia, though, going to go for a bit of an angle onto Weirderum. He should be okay. Now maybe an engagement to Isco. Flash from Hagalaz. They really want this Braum. They really want to start any kind of fight. And Hagalaz is happy to oblige. Another 3-point strike as Isco is being chased to the ends of the earth, but they just can't get him. The earth crumbles to the meteor of Lyrax. That was a darkened sky. So that is a pretty valuable cooldown out from the Acel. But now Euphonia trying to get something back, but the Milio heals, keeping Hagalaz alive. Euphonia wanted a hero play because Potato Senpai is taking towers and bot. Baron's still on the menu for either side. Prone now lying in wait. Steel Tip face checks them first. He doesn't have the team behind him. Flash away from the Milio ball as Prone evades the CC. Now trying to put the damage. Steel Tip's in a whole lot of danger. He goes down. Prone's Jax ready to pop off. Another fear goes wide. A two-man counter strike, and Prone refusing to die. Has the Zonias. He will not be rooted in time. The Jax is a menace. As here comes Weirderum to try to find something back. Hagalaz getting slapped up. Double kill for the Jax. Lyrax gonna arrive to apply some Rylai's slows. Potato Senpai now in position. It looked so good with the Gragas int. But Prone bringing it back in the 1v3. Lyrax flying through with that breath of light. Looking to put his team up 1-0 in the opener. Onto the Nexus Towers they go. They don't stand a chance. Teleport even coming in from the Gragas. Euphonia looking to get himself in the picture as Meteor comes on down. Prone is going to just whack upside Weird Rum. A 12 kill performance from the Jax. And 480C players are going to take game 1.
What
Holy
a performance from this Jax. I honestly couldn't believe how he was moving. He was hitting the Michael Jackson arm. He was moonwalking away from these fears. He's freaking just like sidestepping everything. Crucial movement from Prone. Decides to take that 1v3 and he knew he could do it as well. I
dude.
mean, amazing. Someone clip that.
Bro just refuses to fucking lose. Like he 1v3 face check. Oh my lord, that was crazy. Solo just took the game into his hands. Euphonia doesn't use R. I mean, good look by Euphonia. If he'd gotten his cast off, he would have killed the jungler. But Prone knows the pink ward is there. They don't have vision of him, and he has the confidence. Sidesteps everything beautifully. No words. That was cinema.
Yeah, and I think it also shows kind of the margins that game was really being decided on. You have the fact that, Steel Tips goes into that bush a little bit ahead of his team. And then you get the fact that the 2 fears from the Hui were just a little bit off, unable to connect and let them burst out. Prone there, so razor thin margins, but Prone able to play right where he needs to, delivers a spectacular performance in a role that I'm not quite sure how attuned he is to it, but he's definitely attuned to the Jaximus.
Yeah, I mean, he actually dodged 2 fears, maybe 2 soccer balls. Definitely a melee Q and 2 fears. Got both carries solo. And honestly, the Chemtech with maybe it was the Gunblade Omnivamp, he was healing a bunch. His Zanyu was dodging all the right abilities. That was crazy play. Highlight reel. Just give him the trophy. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, going on to game 2. I am going to leave you guys to it. I will be departing now. What a banger of a game. Hope this goes to a best of 3, honestly. I felt like this was a really close game. Excited to see what else these 2 teams have in store for the rest of the night. But with that, good night, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Right,
Hoptech. As we will be getting into game 2 pretty shortly. This is going to be our first DMV with Fearless. So if you're a fan of the A-Soul, it's not going to happen this game. If you're a fan of Mozinator on that way, it's going to have to find something else, as a lot of very similar bands coming out from both sides. No Poppy, no Jax, no Fizz, as I need to switch the names. And yeah, we do see a lot of similar bands the first time through from both sides. Why does this? What the hell? Oh.
While he's setting up the draft. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to see another stellar Jax performance, but maybe there's. Oh. Are we already into pick and ban?
Yeah. It's on your screen.
Oh, I didn't see the new bands. My bad. I just see that you picked Jace.
It's unbelievable. But yeah, we do have a Jace from the side of 4 ADC players after I switch the names. And we'll see what the responses are going to be. Do have a Lucian out from the Omelets. Omelets did have a pretty dominant game 1 down in the bot lane, at least in the early stages, playing that lane dominant Misfortune Milio combo. Now I'm going to go to something pretty similar with the Lucian and the Nami.
Yeah, Lucian Nami. I think it got stronger this time around because Lucian gets the new Sheen auto. on Essence Reaver, and then Nami gets the same old Imperial Mandate, Electrocute, and then also gets the new Battle Pipes item as I was talking about in the first game. But Jace, do you think is going to jungle? I know you're talking about Jace jungle a little bit
I
yesterday.
don't know if they're going to be willing to do something like that. We do see Lyrax willing to do the Swain. I mean, probably Lyrax, if we're being honest with
Oh,
ourselves, as they get the Leona as well. So it feels like, once again, they're just planning to ride it out, let their mage scale up in the bot lane, care not about whatever pressure, whatever tower plates, whatever early dragons this Lucian Nami may convert to, and just put Lyrax on one of his favorite champions.
yeah, Lyrax Swain. I've been demon. It's got me a couple times. I don't know. I feel like Swain Leona is actually not a weak lane. It can trade pretty well into Lucian Nami. We'll see how they pilot it. Was that a Nautilus lock or Nautilus hover? That's a lock.
Yeah, that is going to be Nautilus from the side of Omelette de Fromage. I'd have to assume it's a bit of maybe a Doinb Nautilus mid, maybe a Nautilus top, similar to what we saw. I don't know, kind of like similar to the Gragas, not quite similar to the Gnar that we saw Wademeyer on. It's gonna be
Yeah,
interesting to see where that Nautilus is gonna end up going.
I think what happened last game is they realized, man, playing this game with like no hard engage is really hard. Like, it's not fun. But hard engage into Swain Leona is kind of rough as well. But I've heard rumblings of Nautilus jungle. Maybe my
Oh, that's
rumblings
fair.
are wrong.
That is fair. That is
uh,
fair. He did get buffed maybe like a couple patches ago on his clear. So definitely not out of the question wherever Nautilus chooses to drop his anchor. As we get into the phase 2 bans, it looks like the focus is going to be top side. Oh, something went wrong on my end. Okay, there we go. There's all the bans. Wait, what the hell?
yeah, I thought these were the fearless bands, but I'm also confused.
Because I'm looking at. Okay, please hold. Why is this not updating?
Oh, good. They did ban the Auction this time, which is different. So I think it's somewhat different. But Auction being banned from an enemy team, banning a pocket pick. Oh, the Aatrox, which is also a top jungle flex. I've been told Aatrox jungle being played somewhere. I think.
Okay, I'm going to need
Took
you to
that
just
straight
go
off.
through the list of what you see on the bans, because.
Yeah, left side I see GP Fizz, Vlad, and then Ken and Akshan. Omelet band in order. Poppy, Zed, Kane, Orn, Silas. Oh, Malphite because the Silas ban. Interesting because they only have attack damage so far on the enemy team with Lucian and Aatrox, but they have not picked their mid laner, so picking Malphite because Silas is banned. Might melt to a mage in the middle lane, but and then already picked 4 ADC players, so it's looking like a not like completely cohesive comp, but every champ can do things on their own, and except for Malphite, but like hard engage with Leona Malphite, like follow up with the Ari and Shock Blast coming through, and then dissuading engage by themselves with the Swain. So I think a pretty solid or comp for the 4 ADCs.
Yeah, it does
On the side
maybe
of
feel a bit incongruent where the Ari, the Leona, and Malphite, all these guys want to play on the front foot, getting in the opponent's face and getting first jump, whereas Swain more content to let people kind of come into his big crow zone and start draining away, play for the longer fights. We see Talia in response as the final pick. So it is going to be Nautilus over in the jungle to provide some good CC, some good hard engage for the omelets. But it does mean the comp is pretty short ranged, and their mage to punch through the Malphite is one that tends to just kind of not do enough against tanks.
yeah. Also, I'm like just completely forgot how fearless works, but yeah, the Talia value is pretty much only against the Ari and then Leona. Like Malphite will go straight through it, tank the damage. I'm thinking that they're just trying to ignore the Malphite and then engage on like someone else. But the Talia is AP, can roam, has some good roam pressure against the Ari. I assume will push it in and be able to roam with the R. But so will Ari. Ari will be able to roam and then do more in the fights with her own ultimate. So I think it's looking pretty even. What do you think either strat is going to be?
I am curious to see whether this is Malphite top or Jace top, because I think Jace jungle has gotten a bit of play here and there, just being able to get decent enough items early and start poking people out with Accelerate Shock Blast from the jungle. Doesn't mean your ganks are necessarily menacing, but Malphite's ganks pre-6 are not really that menacing either. So I am curious to see what we get in the top lane. Jace Aatrox is a pretty, I guess, standard lane of the past several years that these players should be pretty familiar with. Whereas the Malphite just kind of gonna concede lane, build up his tank stats, live under his tower, and start just being an impenetrable wall as the game goes on.
Yeah, I think that if this Nautilus is in the jungle, its ganks pre six are quite good as there's only flash on the side of 4 ADC players to try and get away. Interested to see how the skirmishes will go with some hard engage on Omelet's side this time.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to bring something back with this draft and go to a game number 3 here in the opening game of DMV Rivals. We will take a short break, as the teams have done as well, before getting into game number 2.
Whoa.
Welcome back in, everybody, for game number 2. We've got 4 ADC players on the blue side, Omelette de Fromage on the red, trying to rebound from that game 1 loss. And it's going to be a trying task up against the Lyrax pocket pick Swain, as Weirdem able to get a decent trade onto Euphonium to start us off, because we've got Malphite top, we got Jax jungle, we got Nautilus jungle, a bit some interesting picks here for game number 2.
Yeah, as we were pointing out, the Nautilus jungle, there are a bunch of immobile laners, pretty six to gank. But one thing I wanted to point out that I was very surprised about is this PTA Malphite. I don't know if that's on purpose, don't know the runes, but interesting rune choice there. Oh, huge trade. What the?
Yeah, the Nautilus, or excuse me, the Lucian Nami, able to do what they want to do here early on against that melee support. And the mage, as yeah, it's going to be ghost popped by Euphonia. He's beating him down with the W.
Yeah, maybe it was on purpose. Ghost, PTA, W auto reset. Like, he's trying to get that early prio, I guess, onto this Aatrox. Maybe he just knows the matchup like an expert, but he's beating him down.
Does take an unneeded tower shot as Weirdem is starting to get healthier with some pots with that Doran's shield on both sides. Nautilus is going to be pathing away from him, as is the Jace. So these guys will probably be isolated up here to their own devices.
But we are seeing that.
Nautilus deterred.
Oh.
He's pulling off the three camp gank special.
What
are we doing in the top lane? And the 3 camp gank pays off. Jace gonna try to invade for something on the bot side. Not the start Euphonia dreamt up with this PTA Ghost Malphite.
Yeah, we do a little bit of trolling, it seems. A really good 3 camp gank in the top lane, but unfortunate fails the flash. I think he was gonna die no matter what. But I was gonna point out that with top lane changes, he is able to take Ghost, and we'll get TP later. I think it kind of makes sense because I think you complete the quest maybe like 16 minutes. Oh
what
no!
On earth? Everyone's low in the mid lane, and Muzinator, picking up where he left off, gets another solo kill in lane.
Yeah, it was so close. If Potato Senpai had maybe flashed the W and not gotten stunned under tower, like sideways, and still landed all his abilities, he probably could have solo killed Muzinator back. But Muzinator, huge W, flick into the rocks for the stun under the tower. Gets a clean solo kill, but no sums blown. And 2 solo kills for the side of Omelets as they're looking to get this one back.
Yeah, it was TP from Potato Senpai to get back to lane. Meanwhile, Mozinator was contentious walking back. But meanwhile, Bubble on the bot lane flash in from Steel Tips, but they can't find enough damage to Lyrax. Now Steel Tips out of position. He is just going to get served up for an easy kill. Isco, the maybe unfortunate recipient, as Potato Senpai pushing in Mozinator in mid. The over-aggression from Dragon and Steel Tips does not pan out.
I'm answering a Twitch chat question right now. It is currently 1-0 to the side of 480s, which is blue side right now. But yeah, huge counter gank from Prone on the bot side, getting a crucial kill back because the Tsunami was doing some really, really big damage into this Swain, and it looked really close, but really good turn.
Mozinator thought he saw
everyone is
just volley, but I mean the mid laner's just going back and forth in what is, I mean, usually a pretty stable matchup. Mage versus mage. We'll wait till we get level 6, unlocks the playmaker. No, they're ready to scrap. They're ready to get down and dirty. Nautilus is around. Potato Senpai really wants to get this wave in with the last of his mana, but the Hex flashing Nautilus right out of the fog. We're going to ignore that anchor because it's a kill all the same. Right, guys? Right. Thank you, Muzinator. He's going to clean that one up and put himself up 2-0.
Oh, good freeze from Euphonia. But yeah, Potato Senpai, no mana, very low HP, was trying to get in the wave, and really good Hex Flash gank from Hagalaz, as we were pointing out. Very immobile. Oh, huge trade in the bot lane. Very immobile solo laners. This Nautilus jungle doing some good ganks, but everyone's just throwing hands in this early game right now. It looks like Omelets are trying to score this one back, even up the series, but it looks like 480 is ready to take the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, we did see the side of 480s,
Ooh.
excuse me, of the Omelets, get a lot of that early advantage across the board, right? They had the winning mid lane, they had the winning bot lane, they converted into 2 dragons, and then didn't get a dragon for the rest of the game. So, hoping that this early promise does not fizzle out, that they can keep the ball rolling. And, I mean, given Weird Room hasn't died to 3 ganks yet, feels like it is trending in the right direction. As Dragon, though, going to get engaged on as here comes the posse. Hagalaz and Prone just maybe passing by as this goes in a bit of danger. Hagalaz goes for the dredge line, hits it on the wall, able to still get the root off, but they don't really have much damage in return. Steel Tips dashing forward. Gets the combo on Prone. No one dead. Another dredge line comes through. The Nautilus trying to lock him down. Isco able to flash to safety. Meanwhile, topside, Weird Room taking a tower shot as he has level 6. And he has Euphonia on the ropes. 2-level lead. And that wave is about to crash it in. Malphite does get the ult. So don't think Weird Room is going to try anything too fancy up there. As we have flipped positions in the mid lane. But it is somewhat of an advantage to Muznir to have that codex already locked in, that tier stacking with the early advantage he's got, but especially with the level 6, Potato going to be pretty good in the overall skirmishes as they unfold around the dragon, around the grubs.
Oh, charm hits?
Charm hits,
but
we
no
do have
R. I don't think
Seismic
it's
Shove
anything
coming out, but nothing lethal just yet.
Yeah, I want to point out Steel Tips playing really well in this Lucian, hitting so many Qs through the wave on multiple people. Very close margins in every single lane, but still 1-3 score line, 1,000 gold lead to the 480s from their excellent solo kills.
Oh,
And
as a
counter against-
double
huge
grasp
claw.
out from Lyrax, but that is the combo. So the fight may not be looking too good, but they're pressing forward. They are able to get that wave in as Euphonia continues to take some punishment up here in the top lane.
Yeah. One thing is the damage won't stick as much onto the side of Steel Tips and Dragon because of the Nami healing, but really good trade from Lyrax. Gets some pressure off. And Mozzinator putting the pressure onto this R in the mid lane is down CS, but up 2 kills, so definitely up gold. But this top lane CS situation is a little bit rough.
Yeah, but now Hagalaz just harassing Prone in his own jungle. Depth charge hits, has the blast plant to get away, and that flash does not put Hagalaz in position to follow. Prone will escape. Didn't even have to burn the flash. Oh, and actually the rock comes on over, sets up the accelerated shock blast, but Hagalaz is tanky just enough. Weird Room trying to get the remaining bits of damage down, but Euphonia is fine. Prone is fine, and now the charm means a solo kill for Potato. Prone trying to get away, but the World Ender is flying after him. Weird Room finally able to clean up something here for the side of Omelette de Fromage. But overall, solid for the side of 480Cs.
Yeah, Potato Senpai turning up. He's showing up after getting kind of solo killed over and over. Lyrax going for the solo kill in the bottom.
But the culling does a lot of damage. Steel Tips trying to go back in. Pop up with the double auto and Steel Tips with the solo.
Wow, so much skirmishing. Potato Senpai uses ulti, solo kills Mozzinator on the side of that fight. Wideron gets to clean up a kill on the top skirmish, but then Lyrax thought he had the angle with the exhaust and the
Seismic Shove comes on down. We have Aqua Prison as well. Potato, no ulti, flashes up in maybe 2 seconds, but it's not there in time. Meanwhile, Weird Room getting run down. No ghost available for Euphonia. No ult available either, so I think Aatrox should be... Maybe he's not going to get that wave in, but he does have his Nautilus picking up 3 grubs. Once again, a big advantage to the side of 480Cs. Or excuse me, to Omelets.
Yeah, this Nautilus jungle, I think, is down a little bit of gold, but providing so much value. And even in that 1v1, like maybe a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, he was kind of beating out the Jace in the 1v1 for now. So let's see what he can do. He got 3 grubs, and he's farming counter-drilling the top side. But Steel Tips is alone in his bot lane. Is he looking for... Oh, not alone.
Yeah, he's got Prone joining as well, which means Lucian's not long for this world. Steel Tips going to lose a massive wave to that tower. Nicely set up by the side of 480Cs.
Yeah, top jungle for losing your 80 and a huge wave charm hits. Mozzinator.
I don't think we're going to see too much down there. It's now Conquer proc from Weird Room, who's going to try to run down this Malphite in the long lane. Popping the World Ender. Red buff slows there as well, forcing the ult from Euphonia. As we watch more gold, more minions fall to the wayside thanks to that collapse onto steel tips. Ultis are back up in the mid wave, but I think especially given that Lucian was just slain, it should be Dragon. Nope, actually. Jace not able to finish that off as Shove in the mid lane doing a lot of damage. Minions thankfully blocking a lot, but the flash volley is beautiful. Mozinator with another solo kill. I want to say it's his 5th in 2 games, and his team picks up the Dragon to boot.
That was a crazy flash over the charm empowered rock volley. That was insane. I really thought Potato Senpai had that because he had his ultimate up. If he just dodges the seismic shove or the rocks, he can just have more damage than Mozinator. But Mozinator flash Q, huge solo kill from Mozinator once again.
Yeah, I mean, who needs to pick up the minions when you're picking up kills? Mozinator does not really care that he's down all that gold in minions. They'd still get to their first items at about the same time. You'd still favor the Ahri right now with a more complete item in the Blackfire Torch and with that ult in any skirmish. But with a dragon down, with grubs already taken, not going to really see any skirmishing for a while as these teams do get to their first item spikes. We might see a bot lane play as Steel Tips, still without cleanse, still without flash. The Solar Flare may miss, but Potato zones him with the charm. He's rooted up. He's going to be taken down. You have to believe. And eventually Isco gets it. Potato trying to apply more pressure with the Spirit Rush. Not able to find anything. Mozinator does find a shove. Not able to get the rocks down, but Hagalaz there to continue the CC chain. A lot of damage down onto the Ahri, but she's A-okay for now. Just going to be able to limp away. Isco maybe looking for a re-engage as another seismic shove connects. And Lyrax and the rest of 40FCs maybe sticking around a bit too long. Hagalaz does have flash, does have dredge line, does have ult. And he's going to go for it there. Doesn't quite get it. Flash out of Ahri is pretty important. So he will definitely take that as Weirdrum trying to take the blue buff on top side. Euphonia is going to try to set this one up down to 50 and taken by the Malphite. And now Weirdrum trying to get his way out of here, but the ulti comes down. Big shutdown for Euphonia.
Huge shutdown for Euphonia. I want to say, I feel bad for Steel Tips here. He's Lucian, Nami, and he's weak side. It feels pretty bad for him right now. But oh my gosh, Vandal Pipes, Nautilus. Okay, they know the tech. But yeah, Hagalaz. I want to see Hagalaz protecting and playing towards this Lucian Nami more because it's a lot of damage, but they're just perma weak sided, perma down numbers. Like look at the position. See, he's here for the counter game. I want to see how this goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real one to Isco to try to disengage. Now they have the TP coming in, but Hagalaz wisps the anchor. Now going to drop the depth charge onto the enemy Leona. They have Weirdrum here. Connects Q1. They're sending everything for the Leona, and she's just able to flash away. Does mean Potato Senpai will get a good bit of alone time on that mid lane tower, trying to take some plates here before they fall in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused on the target selection there. Ulting the Leona instead of the squishier Jace who was right there. But Euphonia
doesn't have MR. The threaded volley's not quite there. Euphonia able to keep his life. Weirdrum moves over to the mid lane to pick up what he can against Potato. Lines up some nice Qs. Hits all of the Darkened Blades. Does need to call it off there. As he flashes, I didn't actually gets an ulti out, but now Prone is here to lay down the hammer, and Weirdrum is definitely dead. They even push him into the Visage of Empire and give that one to Lyrax.
Yeah, that was a little bit ambitious from Weirdrum. Really good combo to first chunk him out, but a little bit ambitious and does gift the kill over to Lyrax, who farming well, just like last game. He's farming well, scaling, and is going to be a complete nuisance to the enemy team. But Euphonia taking a lot of damage. Prone bone.
Yeah, Prone is up here. The seismic shove hits. Trying to get something back, but Euphonia just enough HP to tank it through. Meanwhile, on bot side, Steel Tips and Dragon now being maybe aggressed on by Lyrax, but they're going to win in these long extended skirmishes, perhaps. As Isco is now separated out, Steel Tips should be able to run him down with the cleanse, with the culling. And Leona does drag him to that long wall, but it's going to be a flash. It's going to be a kill. And something going right for Steel Tips.
Yeah, it's getting some gold on the Steel Tips. He's one item. He's picking up kills, doing a lot of damage. But Dragon Flank? Whoa, that's him.
Doing? All right, Dragon now going to
I
try to
guess
get
he
away,
does
but
have
Yomu's
teammates.
prone going to try to chase. Hagalaz is here. He
That's a lot
gets
of
his
damage.
combo down, but prone is perfectly fine tanking that up. Euphonia going to try to defend the tower. He does it just long enough to give first tower over to Potato, but now how's the fight going to really look? Weirdrum is down a level at this point, and Euphonia is slapping him up with the W. The World Ender is not looking that powerful. Euphonia with another solo kill on the Malphite.
Yeah, it's like the 4 AD is really turning this one around. Well, actually, 4 AD is on the red side. Sorry, almost turning this one around with the solo kills from top side. It looks like Prone and Euphonia once again are building advantages against Weirdium and also catching up Potato Senpai sometimes. But they're once again losing dragons. The first two dragons go over to the side of 4 ADs.
Yeah, we may have seen this script before. No, it's omelets on red.
Oh,
As Potato gets stunned on the
oh,
rocks, is he gonna go down? I don't think so. As Prone's now chasing on the bot side. A lot of damage from Steel
oh
Tips. He's
my
able to get it top,
God.
and here comes Lyrac. Here comes the demonic ascension for the return kill.
Oh,
Now
GG.
Hagalaz in maybe a bit of trouble. Solar Flare connects
Chase down?
onto the Nami, but Mosinator is around to provide some damage. It's still Lyrax, though, refusing to go down. Hagalaz going to try to dredge line to safety, but the Leona just sticks on top of him, refusing to let him get away. The grass pits onto Mosinator, and without that flash from mid lane, he is gone. The Swain refuses to let his empire fall and picks up plenty of gold on the bot side.
Yeah, is that a quadra kill? Unofficial for Lyrax? He's just unkillable. As soon as the burst damage from Lucian goes out, just Talia, he's hitting the rocks, he's hitting the shoves. It's not enough damage to burn through Lyrax's ulti.
And now we've got
And
Ghost
Euphonia
popped in top
ghosting once
side.
again.
As Steel Tip's going to move in to
Oh
clear
no,
out the mid wave.
Jesus.
Weirdrum trying to run away with that World Ender, but his Malphite's too sticky. The Ghost is coming in. He's beating him down with his knuckles. The unstoppable force meets a movable
My
object.
gosh.
And it's another kill for Euphonia.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Wiederum is going to be able to sideline against Euphonia because this is just so much damage from this PTA Malphite with the Ghost, and he gets the free TP. He's just taking advantage of all the new top lane season items or additions and running away with his top lane lead.
Yeah, Potato does
Oh.
burn the ult, trying to get a bit cute on the Krugs. But they've got Lyrax taking bot side. They've got Herald going their way top side. 4 ADs playing pretty solid, forming a nice 4K gold lead as they look to close out the series.
Yeah, 4 ADs are really ahead on this one. The slow scaling AP bot lane, what are AD carries? And this tank top lane just winning the matchup against the Bruiser, it's going to be pretty rough, even with Mosinator's heroics in the mid lane. I don't think Talia has enough damage, especially with this current build, to bust through a just drain taking Swain.
Yeah, it's going to take a good bit to get all those damage items on Talia and then get those luxury items in heal cut to make sure that Lyrax is actually killable. He's got his Seekers to try to maybe evade some of the bigger combos of the culling whenever he gets depth charged up by Nautilus. So Lyrax definitely in a pretty solid position for these upcoming mid-game fights for the Dragon in 2 minutes. Meanwhile, on the side of Omelette de Fromage, they've got the 2 items on the Lucian. He's pretty much at his strongest point he's going to be in this game. Imperial Mandate done on Dragon as well. We'll see if they're going to be able to find anything. Traditionally with Lucian, you see them kind of move the Lucian Nami mid, get that mid lane prio, use the culling aggressively to push people back, get priority. But, I mean, just because of how much health Swain's going to have in his tank, I'm not sure how feasible that is. We'll see if they're able to convert anything, though, before Dragon in a minute 45.
Yeah, I was going to say a quiet game from Prone, but he's been hitting Shock Blast after Shock Blast in these counter ganks. He's 2 items, opportunity stack. I think his Shock Blast will do like 700 damage to one of the squishies on the enemy team. And if we look at Haglaz, he's not especially tanky. Vandal Pipes gives like maybe 20 armor, and then he's built full MR, so he'll won't get locked down for long. Oh, huge combo from Mosinator again.
A good combo, but he knows Ari has Spirit Rush. He's never going to really lock down a kill. So just playing to push in the wave. His team is currently just trying to not lose out on bot side. You see Isco and the rest of 480s move in, get some good vision down to set up for this Dragon. But Hagawaz maybe looking to make a play in mid.
Oh,
They've got Lyrax in their sights. He drops the exhaust on steel tips, but the culling is just being cranked on out. Zonya's getting a good bit of healing back for Lyrax, but they're still able to find the kill. Now Tidal Wave comes on through as maybe a bit aggressive from Prone. He's slowed up on the retreat, a double to steel tips, and now maybe things are going to turn up for the omelets. Isco in a bit of a rough spot as Potato evades the hook, but he's still in a whole lot of danger. Spirit Rush spirits him
no.
away as Euphonia is maybe a bit lost on your side. He does have his ult still to make sure that he gets out unscathed. Weirdrum not going to be able to find much as Euphonia evades the shove. He's schmoving on him, but he can't hit the ult. And so Mozinator should be able to lock this one down with the help of his Aatrox. But a flash in, the PTA's proc the shove away. But still, it is a delayed ace. It is a fantastic fight and series of events for Omelette de Fromage.
Yeah, huge turnaround for the Almas. They got a 5 for actually nothing, and they're walking towards the Drake right now. They've completely evened up the golds, and like it just starts with Lyra's getting caught, and he is gonna get burst down because he is 3v1, and then the Malphite just can't get in the fight, does not find a good ulti angle, and then ends up in a 1v2 against the two solo laners. So one of his his items are not effective at all against Mozinator, and then he unfortunately whiffs the ulti, so does not get the kill on Mozinator, and just big turnaround from the side of the Omelets.
Yeah, you like the decisiveness out of Hagalaz as, oh, hold that.
Prone.
Mozinator is probably going to drop. Prone has no flash, so if he got hit by that shove, maybe he dies, but still going to be able to pick up a nice little kill on top side, convert that into some grubs, and build his lead in the jungle. But I do want to shout out Hagalaz.
If I'm a dance partner, I'm looking for a dance partner. I'm choosing Prone. He's not getting hit by any skill shot. Sidesteps the no flash. Sidesteps the seismic shot perfectly. Easy kill on the top side. Mozinator pushed out. Not even that far. Just good positioning by Prone.
Yeah, and we are seeing the Jace kind of jump out to a decent lead here in the jungle. He is going to farm a bit more efficiently than the Nautilus, even with the Nautilus buffs and the AoE damage of the bombies. It is going to be that more powered jungling for the Jace and then showing up and throwing out those shock blasts. Hagalaz trying to go for a lot of earlier ganks and playmaking on this champion. It was good decisiveness in the mid lane to go for the play. We saw kind of in game one him maybe trying to force the issue too hard on a champion like Xin Zhao that can't really engage the way a Nautilus can, that ended up costing his team quite dearly. But either way, we've got Rift Herald summoned up. Potato going to drive that one in. And without a dredge line, there's not going to be a way to really convert on. But a 3-man Malphite ultimate. Euphonia just getting in on top of Steel Tips. Lyrax there with the Demonic Ascension. Dragon may go down to prone. And Steel Tips follows suit. Weirderum dies as well. It's all set up by the Rock. And it's a clean 5-0 ace. And possibly the series.
Yeah, we thought the Almas were making a comeback, but just if they're grouped as 5 and they get the jump on any of the carries, they only have 2 damage sources, and Lucian is burst, and then Talia is not enough to get through the Malphite. It's just too hard to punch through the Malphite and the Swain. And just beautiful engage from Euphonia. 3-man over the wall, off of vision, I think, and just they've just jumped out to the same lead they had, just off another fight. 6A gold. It is I would say it's completely over if they had the dragons, but the Omelets do have 3 dragons. It is Ocean Soul, so maybe if they can somehow sneak that drag away or get in a position to get it, catch someone out, turn it into a drag, get drag soul, and try to out drain tank. But the bursts from the ADs are a little much.
Yeah, they've definitely built themselves up a nice lead. Looking to put the finishing touches down, but that extra tower fortification, among other things, preventing them from getting much of a game-ending shot. They do still take the mid lane inhibitor. And will now start to try to use that move-in vision with Isco. Dragon going to work to deny all of that alongside Hagalaz.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we've not been seeing Mozinator using his Talia ulti to great effect in this game so far. It's kind of just been catching out. The great plays have been solo kills, catching out Lyrax. But I think as a team, the 4 ADs have been moving as a team, engaging, doing things a lot more coordinated and a lot better than the side of the Omelets.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to see the Lucian Nami maybe exert some pressure here in mid lane, get priority, start moving places around the map, have Talia join up with the Weaver's Wall, but especially now that there are now super minions in mid wave, and we are 25 minutes in the game, well past Lucian's prime, probably not going to be the case. And instead, they're going to have to rely on Mosnier to get gold up, but he is charmed up. Shock Blast hits on target, and Potato Senpai on a killing spree.
Yeah, doesn't even need to burn the Spirit Rush. He just lands the Charm and prone with the EQ 600 or 700 damage off screen, finishes off with the Storm Razor. Storm Razor, is that what it's called? No. Storm Surge. And it's looking rough for the Omelets once again.
I think definitely not what you want to see. As actually flash into the mid lane as Euphonia is just going to go right for his man. He takes out Steel Tips. Lyrax is in a good bit of danger, but without the Lucian consistent damage, can Weirderum really get it done? He's got backup now. Lyrax just refusing to go down. Does fall eventually, but he's got his teammates here to clean up the mess. Euphonia should be able to pick up Hagalaz with the help of Isco. Dragon running for their life here. As Prone going to flash the bubble. Not able to hit the shock blast, but it doesn't matter. To the skies, to the grave goes Nami. And Muzinator, the only one left alive to wonder how he's going to stop the onslaught of 4 ADCs through the mid lane.
Yeah, this one's... Oh, a Galti might pick up a kill on Prone here if he can get the jungler.
Shove. Prone gets his combo down. And now with that Spirit Rush coming, Potato Senpai cleans it up. They're not going to really play for any sort of end. It will just be Ocean Dragon, it looks like.
I mean, they did kill the jungler, and it is 2 tanks on the dragon. They might try and contest as their only win condition. It's going down marginally slowly.
And we do have TP coming in from Potato, so we'll see if Lucian really wants to make his way over. It is a pretty slow take, but it should be a take all the same. I don't think Steel Tips and Weirderum are going to really be able to get here. They play around the vision wonderfully, and Steel Tips is going to die. Lyrax claims that one with the W. And Weirderum is for sure doing damage. As actually, here comes Hagalaz. He steals away the soul. They can't keep out the Nautilus. And I will happily give up his life, but they need to get Weirderum out of here if they can. A nice grasp in from the Swain. Weirderum trying to lay it down with another Dragon Blade, but they're too tanky. There's too many shields. There's too many heals. Ocean Soul might be claimed, but Muzinator is the one thing standing between 4 ADCs and a Game 1 win.
Yeah, I mean, valiant effort from Hagalaz does get the steal, and you see the Ocean Soul is kind of competing with the Swain ulti, but without either of their 2 damage dealers, they just don't have enough to knock the enemy team down. But they do escape with an Ocean Soul. They are 10k gold down, and their base is still alive, so there is a chance. One thing to point out in this new season is that there are just less minions, and wave clear is it's like so much easier to clear the minions. And they are getting funneled gold through the mid lanes, so there is a chance. But good plays by the 4 ADs here, and I'm looking at Euphonia for the next Malphite R onto Steel Tips to see what's going on here.
Yeah, Hagalaz's going to try to move in, get some vision, because now Baron is going to be the main thing on the menu. And Hagalaz's trying to face check in, but he is going to take way too much damage. Steel Tips can't really back him up because he knows that there is a R button waiting for him from Euphonia. So Hagalaz dies for basically nothing, and Euphonia going to assert his dominance in the jungle. They're going to get their vision and probably get their Baron pretty soon. Euphonia gonna be dragged back. Steel Tips burns the flash super early. He's ulted up. Culling's still gonna come down, and a beautiful wave from the Nami. Steel Tips now trying to just man up against Lyrax, but the Sonya comes in just in time. Steel Tips cutting away. The Ocean Soul healing, putting in its work as Weirderum has now got Lyrax cornered off to the side. Isco's dead, shut down to the Lucian, and in the 1v1, is it gonna be Lyrax to heal and drain, tank it up, or is it gonna be the Ocean Soul? It's gonna be Mozinator and Weirderum. Clean in house. It's almost an ace. Potato Senpai on half his HP. Steel Tips burned his flash and maybe a very odd button press, but he stays alive through all of it. Potato still lurking around, looking to pick up an exit kill, and he does. Still has oh no, he didn't have an ult available. He's dead. And now with that delayed ace, Jace is up in 10. They're gonna start up the Baron. Steel Tips and Mozinator will provide plenty of damage.
What a comeback so far. Like, actually, don't ever say it's over because this Ocean Soul keeping Steel Tips alive. He tried to predict the Malphite ulti, why his flash looked a little bit goofy in that fight near red. But he lives long enough, his dash comes back up, he's able to dash away and kite out perfectly. Euphonia actually died so fast, even though he's full armor. This Lucian is pumping damage, and then Lyrax could not live long enough through his drain tanking. It was very surprising fight there. I think honestly, it was just very disconnected. Euphonia so far ahead of adding his damage. Potato Senpai couldn't be there with his ultimate to clean up, and then Prone couldn't get any shock blast over the top. It was covering fire for the engage.
And we see that when the Lucian can survive, there are ways, there are paths to victory for the side of Omelette de Fromage. It is going to be a bit difficult. We've got like Knight's Vow in from Hagelas to try to immune some of the damage from that Steel Tip's going to be under, but he's got Guardian Angel as well. But it feels like when he respawns, the Swain's still going to be up. He's still going to be permaslowed, and it's going to be still an uphill battle, but we'll see if Steel Tips and the boys can pull it off, as Elder's still 2 minutes away, so Hagelas, we don't need to walk this way. He will get
good
the buffer on the
Spider-Man.
hook. Weirdrum burns his TP expecting an all-out brawl, and he's going to be the one to force it, as Prone, not going to quite be caught. Hagelas in a whole lot of danger, gets the depth charge down onto 2. Tidal Wave comes on through for a 2-minute act, but Euphonia's onto the backline. Steel Tips is their target. The Lucian's in their sights. He's stunned up. He's going to be dropping to his Guardian Angel, and he is surrounded. He's going to try to put out some damage. They take out Lyrax, but it's not enough. Potato now popping off with a triple. Looking for Muzzinator. Charm doesn't quite get it. Weirderum gets a Q3. Doesn't have enough damage. Muzzinator picks up the double. Weirderum picks up another of his own. The Talia staying alive. Finds another shove. Will scatter Isco with the Blast Plant and now hunt him down with the Rylai's, with the Leandry slows. Weirderum making it happen on the top side. Another scattered fight goes the way of the Omelets. Euphonia trying to run, get some move speed, but I think they're pretty happy if they can kill him in the end, because Elder is up in a minute. All this meandering around, if Euphonia doesn't get out, it's not worth. He burns the flash, but Weaver's Wall is going to come on down, and he is for sure going to die. Right, Muzzinator? Right. Thank you very much. He hits some volleys. 55-second death timer, 40 seconds on the Elder. All right, my co-caster has died. Unfortunate. But we're still got a game to finish. 20 seconds until the Elder Dragon. Prone gonna be able to get back onto the map. Almost fill build on the Jace. That Medjai's on the Ahri. Not gonna put in a whole lot of work after what happened in that last fight. Weirdrum finds a face checking. Prone not able to do much about it. The mid lane is going to get... Oh, hello.
I am back, and we're back into another fight. You got that, Shiv. You got that.
Isco's able to flash away. Charm gets some good damage onto the Nami. That is going to be flash out of Isco. Potato held on to his ult. I feel like that's going to be the main thing that he needs to pop off in this fight. So he's able to get out just fine. Weirdrum playing defense, trying to prevent them from approaching through the choke. He's now going to start off with the World Ender. Isco trying to lock him up. Hagelas finding an engage on the other side. They can't chunk out Lyrax, so now Euphonia is very hard to kill. Hagelas is going down. That's their smite. The Tidal Wave rolls on through, but Prone is going to fall first. Muzzinator trying to do damage here on the side. Potato Senpai not able to connect the charm. Steel Tips went over the backside of the wall. Did kill off Prone, so there's no smite for either team. Potato hunting, finds the charm, but the heals... I mean, there's not much to do. Swain's going mid. He's deciding, hey, if we can't approach that, if we are getting zoned away, we've got the mid lane to play on, and we've got a charm on Weirderum. Steel Tips doesn't provide enough damage. The ult is still up for the Malphite. Steel Tips trying to flash cleanse, throw every button he can into Euphonia, and the Malphite doesn't fall. Muzzinator finally gets the kill and is dominating, but does he have enough? He's got the rocks throwing out, but Lyrax is just pushing in mid. The Swain wants to end the game, and Muzzinator, I don't know if he's got a way back home. The double shove is nice, but the locket is better. The Zonias will buy some time. Meanwhile, Lyrax is taking a top lane inhib. Muzzinator's down, and I think just maybe we found an end to this game. 4 ADs pick up 2 inhibitors. Lyrax, being a Swain, can't really push for the end. And so it will just be a lot of super minions, and Elder still on the Rift.
Wow, and this game continues. The Ocean Soul putting in so much work for the omelets. Like, oh, they're onto the Elder. I think this will go over. So it's looking might be a wash, but I want to point out Steel Tips putting out so much damage. You can see Euphonia's focus is solely on him. Potato Senpai saving his R, trying to get onto Steel Tips over and over. Dragon, Immaculate Mikhail's onto the charm from Potato Senpai, but also still not enough as Euphonia is just so tanky against this Lucian.
Yeah, and I think another big thing there is Steel Tips burned both his summoners. Solar Flare gets dropped on his head, he's gone. If Charm gets dropped on his head, he's gone. So it's going to have to be a very impeccably played fight for Steel Tips to be able to find a way to play here. They're down 7k, but the items are starting to equal out here at full build. They're, more importantly, down that Elder buff. So as the damage comes on through, they will get immediately executed.
Yeah, honestly, without the Elder, I was gonna point out that Wiederum is actually becoming a drain take threat. With the Ocean Soul, he is living for so long and posing such an issue for the lower damage members of 4ADs, but it looks like they cannot approach this Baron because of due to the Elder Dragon threat.
Yeah, I mean, Potato's going to get a whole lot of damage off with his Q and just going to play the job of bouncer to make sure Prone and Euphonia can pick up the Baron. Double buffs in tow, Baron and Elder. And with the 2 super waves to play off of, 4 ADs setting themselves up very nicely for a match 1 victory.
Yeah, let's see if they can make some magic again. Omelets have been doing some crazy stuff this game, but I'm still looking at the Euphonia, Flash, Mountain flying at your AD. We'll see how they play. Mikhail's is crucially down because they use it onto the Aatrox charm.
Yeah, and I mean, Randuin's is in for the Swain as well, so he is going to take even less damage from this Lucian. They're going to drop Soul Flare onto Weirderum, and now maybe they have an angle onto the Malphite. It's blown up. The rock crumbles as now Mozinator picks that one up. The dredge line goes wide, but they may have just bought themselves a bit of time. No unstoppable force, but the minions are going to continue to pile in. This Elder is up for a good bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, the gold is just not mattering. Both carries on the side of Omelets are full build. Pretty much everyone's full build except the tanks. And the damage is just colossal from both sides. They're able to perfectly CC chain the Malphite. And they buy themselves some more time. Is Isco caught here?
Isco has his flash. He should be fine. But that is Elder about to wear off. As okay, well, Potato just nukes the fish right as the Elder expires. We'll see if that can really translate to anything. Euphonia still down for 15 seconds. No TP. Yeah. Actually, to be fair, I don't know how the quest works, if he has TP now or not, if there's a way to check it. But either way, it is just a support kill, and with the Baron minion still going in. Hagalaz, okay, we got the Edge of Night. We'll call that a win. But yeah, we are getting to 6 items across the board. Everyone getting up to maximum power. What are you looking at here as these final items come in?
I mean, full build AD on side of Steel Tips. Lyra's still looking for one more item, but I mean, he's just been kind of the same. It's constant drain tank, complete nuisance. Honestly, I think his job is just slow everyone and slow the entire enemy team and live long and provide constant source of damage. Lower than an AD carry, but the slows are what's important because Lucian being so low range, in order to even hit this Swain, he has to get slowed by the Swain R. So I'm looking at Euphonia's R over and over because he didn't get it off that time and he was perfectly chain CC'd. But the Malphite R, if it ever hits Steel Tips, not Mikhailsable, not cleansable. If they can get a prone shock blast onto a Euphonia R, like it might be lights out. But also, I want to highlight Prone just lost his flash. Maybe a fat finger or spectator bug, but it's down.
Yeah, I mean, he'll stay relatively safe, just chunking out shock blasts if he wants. As Weirdrum, I mean, we can't get too big for our britches here. There is an Ari nearby. Just calm down. Just calm down. Your Lucian's not in position yet.
Whoa.
Inhibitors are back up. And second Elder is 90 seconds away. So the side of 480 is just trying to check the boxes down here, getting vision through the enemy side. Those little firelights here in Season 26 aren't going to be doing too much to help Omelette reclaim the vision. So they're trying to go through mid, get some priority there. But Prone is going to make it very difficult for them to enter, chucking out some shock blasts.
Yeah, it's pretty much just an even game. Everyone's full build. Everyone's blown up or gets blown up. We'll see how they decide to play this out. But Hoglaz is frontlining for his team, using his shields perfectly. Can Spider-Man away from any charms as well if he has good enough reaction time. And it looks like the 480s have really good position, but Aatrox is pushing out bot. But if I'm Aatrox, I'm scared. They're all off vision. They could be running at you at like any time. He's basing probably for an item, and then we'll probably regroup with his team to try and get out on the map.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
the
he's gonna go
priority
top.
is definitely don't get blown up. You've got the Maul and Weirdrum, Banshees, and Zhonya's on Mozinator. But, I mean, right now it's just dark around this second Elder. Lyrax hits the grasp, but Hagalaz is going to be able to just disengage. Or is he? It goes around the bend, and they land the charm. Hagalaz is able to flash away. Solar Flare is dropped for nothing. But they are still able to push through, get the priority in the mid lane, and now move over to that second Elder.
I'm really looking at Potato Senpai here. After getting solo killed, this guy's got a 25 stack Medjai's. He's so strong on this Ahri. The poke is landing, and yes, Dragon's healing them up, but like, oh boy.
Hagalaz is just turned up. He has to face check. He has to go in, but here comes the ulti from Euphonia. Steel Tips grasped by the Swain, trying to just keep himself alive as the Swain drain tanking as once again, but the Cullen gets a full channel. Weirdrum maybe getting low. The Q3 won't connect. Steel Tips caught out once again by the Lyrax E. He's able to kite it out. Zonya's going to get dropped. Hagalaz with the last of his HP. A beautiful bubble and stun converts 2 kills. Guardian Angel going to come back up for Steel Tips as Potato finds his prey. That's going to be another kill for the Ahri. Resets not quite there for the Spirit Rush, but here comes Euphonia back with full HP. And even with the numbers disadvantage, it still feels like 4ADs has serve over the Elder.
Yeah, it's just they don't have a face check anymore. Weirdrum cannot tank the ult, but Euphonia might be caught.
Yeah,
he's getting melted quite fast.
There's no ult on this guy. He is going to drop with the charm hits on Steel Tips. He's not going to fall. Weirdrum trying to take matters into his own hands. The World Ender spreads his wings, but the Fox just leaves him be. Potato now looking for an angle. Steel Tips able to dash away. Could have been major damage. Could have been possibly an 100-0.
But they have no jungler. They're going to start this in front of the enemy jungler?
Yeah,
Interesting choice. Prone is quite tanky with like a lot of HP and a GA and an Edge of Night.
Yeah, they're sending everything over that wall. They know for sure Prone has to be there. They take off the Edge of Night. Now they're just going to go over. But there's the stun. The seismic shove. Guardian Angel is there. 9k HP remaining on the Elder. They chuck everything at Prone, but he's able to get away with the flash. He's maybe going to be a hope, but he's flashing to nowhere. And Steel Tips, 12-9 on the Lucian. Second Elder is going to go the way of Omelette de Fromage. And through almost 80 kills, we still don't have a winner. Hagalaz going to get charmed up. Potato not going to do too much to him. And now Depth Charge is getting dropped on his head. Can Mozinator get in position for a shove? Not quite. It's going to be a root. It's going to be an Elder execute onto Isco. And Baron is going to be the safe take off the Rift.
Oh my gosh, can Omelette take the 2 Uber buffs and counter? And this is crazy play. This is the best Ocean Soul I've ever seen.
This Aatrox was getting mollywopped in lane. And he has been just a nuisance in these fights. He solo kills Ahri, and on 50-second death timers, I think Omelette de Fromage might be able to pull this one off. There's a lot of crystallization on these towers, if I'm remembering how this shit works. They're moving forward in the top lane, keeping Weirdrum in mid, pushing through with these Baron minions. The inner towers are going to be very quick to fall. As meanwhile on top side, they've got the Baron empowering on the inhibitor wave.
It looks like the Omelettes are marching towards the end with Baron and Elder.
Oh, and
not even full tank Malphite will be able to tank everyone.
Yeah, now he has no ult. He's not real for the next 40 seconds. And that's going to be the green light. You have to imagine Steel Tips with the Elder empowering him wants to send this to a game 3. Hagalaz does not care about the Swain Grasp. He is taking up whatever he can. Shove, kind of interrupted by the tidal wave, but now Lyrax trying to open up with this demonic ascension, but Steel Tips is safe. He's sound, but Hagalaz is not. He's going to be taken down on the front side. Lyrax goes golden. Shove hits only onto Leon, and now Talia in a whole lot of danger. Mosenator's exhausted. Has the Zonia's trying to survive, but Potato Senpai on the back line is falling oh so low, but the Lucian can't quite finish her off. Now, it's maybe Lyrax to try to take over in this fight. And against double Elder, can they do it? Steel Tips, though. He sees what really matters. It's the Nexus. It's those Baron Dub Cannon minions getting us to a game number 3. These bastards. I wanted to sleep. But no, we've got a third game coming up after an absolute banger of a game.
Oh, what is this 46-minute banger? I gotta say, the Omelets are thanking whatever gods they believe in for that Ocean Soul. If it was not for that Ocean Soul, they do not survive that game. What a crazy soul and gaming comeback for the Omelets.
Yeah, and I mean, it looked like it was going to go a very similar way to last game. There was good control from 480Cs throughout that kind of mid-game, moving their vision lines forward, but just not able to finish the job, not able to get that final stake through. And all of the Elder dances and all the inhibitors being taken down. They don't find a way. And they're going to have to start from scratch with momentum almost assuredly not on their side for game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, who's your MVP? I think my MVP, okay, of course it's going to be Ocean Soul. But I think Steel Tips putting him out a lot of damage, but also Dragon, keeping him alive with the Kales, the heals, the shields, and beautiful waves and peel because honestly, they made it really hard for Potato Senpai to do anything off of the Malphite ultis. I think the Talia rocks and the Nami waves really stuff a lot of what the enemy team wanted to do. So I think very well played by the side. The team fights post lane phase were immaculate for the side of the Omelets.
Yeah, and I mean, I think calling out those tidal waves is pretty on point. You saw one tidal wave in that top side fight interrupt the To the Skies that I feel like was just going to completely nuke Steel Tips from orbit if that connects from a 5-item Jace. So good stuns as well onto Lyrax coming out of Zhonya's. They lock it up. They make sure Prone can't steal away that second Elder. And they got to do it one more time to find the match win here.
Yeah, a lot of clutch abilities in these team fights. So entertaining to watch. Very well played by both teams.
Yeah, it does look like the side of 480s has picked red side for game number 3. So Fearless gonna be taking a lot of picks off the board. We'll see whenever they're ready to get into draft. I would prefer them to do it post haste, but you know, whenever, it's fine. But I mean, I think the other thing is, of course, the mental part where 480Cs had that game on lock. They let the Ocean Soul get stolen away by the Nautilus. And that just causes a domino effect that echoes throughout the entire game. We're going to take a short break as the teams try to prepare for draft and figure out what they're going to do for game number 3. As yeah, that 23-minute wipe meant absolutely nothing. Demacia.
Demacia. They have a super buff yet. You didn't get dragged. What can I say?
Demacia fortification. That's what Garen's all about. He loves his turrets. He's not going to let them fall in his season. But yeah, we will get into draft as soon as we can. But for now, a short break, a short reprieve as we get ready for game 3. Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and anything in between, as game number 3 draft is underway for Omelette de Fromage versus 4DC players. It was a banger of a game 2, an onslaught of madness that the Omelets were able to navigate themselves through to a comeback victory. And now we'll see how they want to approach game number 3. We've got a lot of the same bands that we've seen throughout the series. No Poppy, no Fizz, no Gangplank. Syndra, bit of a new addition, preventing that from getting to the hands of Potato Senpai. Yeah, we will see Vladimir be the last ban here. That was the wrong thing. Yeah. We'll see Vladimir and Silas round out that first phase of bans, and Omelet's just going to go straight for a solid engage in skirmishing jungler in J4.
Yeah, not gonna be a supportive type, like engage like Nautilus using the new items, but still a fighter engage. Strong last year. Don't know how strong this patch, but interested to see because it really dissuades picking immobile carries, which I think the side of Mozzinator. Well, no, Mozzinator's on that team, but it really dissuades immobile carries. But Ori picked J4. If J4 lands an ulti on Ori, Ori has no flash. It's kind of a sitting duck, but does pick away a good combo with the J4 because J4 can combo very well with Ori.
Yeah, is going to be a strong, solid mid lane pick. We've seen some weird stuff from Potato Senpai, at least in that game 1 with the Kaisa. Not going to be the case this time, as Mbessa also going to be blinded up there in the top lane. Has maybe fallen off a bit, but still, of course, a very solid champion once she gets her items under.
Yeah, Mbessa not good early, at least in my experience, in terms of just her cooldowns are absurdly long until she gets some CDR and levels into her abilities. Like up until like level 6, she's like, even when she's 6, she presses her R, she presses all her abilities, and she's she's just waddling around until her next round comes up. So maybe we're going to see a top lane bully or a strong skirmisher that can really bully Mbessa early.
Yeah, but right now Omelet's just cooking up the classic combo, but they haven't seen an immobile carry yet. I guess Orianna basically immobile, but they're trying to just lock him up in the Cataclysm, drop the Galio with the heroic entrance, and does feel like a pretty obvious Ezreal angle, or anything with mobility for the side of 480C players. Jinx going to be the final lock-in, make that engage happen, get the one guy, get the Jinx rolling. Feels like a pretty clear game plan from the Omelets.
Yeah, honestly, like if they really wanted to say, ah, this guy needs to die, like he's illegally gaming, like gaming with no permit, pick the Camille. You got Jarvan, Camille, Galio, and the Jinx will send a rocket through, and then Jinx resets pretty much always mean your team fight's going to be good.
Yeah, it is going to be a pretty formidable front line to get through initially, though. Ornn going to be locked in, probably in the jungle position. Could still see Mbessa jungle, so maybe a bit of flexibility there for 4 ADC players, depending on how the rest of the draft pans out. Do see Ornn jungle not get as tanky as maybe you'd like. He tends to just kind of build the cheaper items of Redemption, of Locket, and just make sure his team doesn't die and has solid engage. But if he's in that top lane, he will get very tanky, and especially with Omelette de Fromage playing a tank engager in the mid lane, they will not have a ton of diverse damage unless, you know, we see something like a Mordekaiser or something spicy to bring the magic damage for the Omelets.
Yeah, I'm just very partial to Ornn. I think Ornn is like evergreen champ, just free stats, really good engage, can skirmish well, like scales with the skill of the player. Just really good champ. We see the last bans are Aphelios and Smolder, Hyperscale, Hyper Carry champs, and a Scion and Lulu ban.
Yeah, especially given that 4DCs have that solid engage locked up with the Ornn. Does give them some added flexibility, and to be fair, that's on either side, to go for enchanters, go for hyperscalers in the bot lane.
Whoa.
And it is going to be still something spicy with the Nyla coming in.
Nyla, not very common champ, but I think it kind of makes sense because if you get Dove, you turn on your don't hit me ability, and you're like you'll still get hit by Galio, you'll tank the J4 damage, but Jinx can't really auto you. So if you can survive it with your W, Nyla, I think your melee range, you're hitting them, and you're healing with your ulti and your autos, it could work. I'm seeing the vision.
Yeah, maybe a less direct dash than I
Oh,
was hoping for to get out of the Cataclysm. But there's the magic damage. There's the rat up there in the top side for the Kennen. So Alma de Fromage game plan, still pretty much the same. We're just going to try to roll through your face with all our ultimates, get our Jinx excited, get that, I almost said penicillin, shimmer going up there in the bot lane. And we'll see what they want to round it out as a support. Enchanter maybe makes less sense here, given how much engage they're throwing their way, but they still elect
oh my.
for something in that vein. Soraka gonna be locked in.
Yeah, the Canon. Okay, Canon needs Flash to follow up on J4 engages, so it's interesting. But I kind of see it because like you can kind of bully the Ambessa, but it's you just don't have a hard tank, which is kind of risky against something like an Ambessa, who late game loves to just be this bruiser who beats other bruisers. So also one thing oh wow, spicy Thresh pick.
Yeah, I mean, you can finish the point on the island, then we'll dive into your favorite underpowered support.
Yeah, I mean Thresh kind of on B tier at everything, like okay at gauge, okay peel, really OP lantern to get you out of spots you kind of shouldn't be in. But not a tank, dies to engage, but like can be really good into J4. Depends on the skill of the player again. But I wanted to highlight like I've never seen this combo, but Ambessa Ori, can we do the teleporting shockwave onto the back line? I think that'll be pretty interesting. We can see that scam. But Thresh Nyla into Jinx Soraka, I think it's kind of the snooze. Like Jinx doesn't have a lot of like bully potential. Soraka does, but even if Thresh lands a hook, like it's not a super easy kill lane in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Soraka can be in those kind of bully lanes. We saw like some pairings with like Callista, but with the Jinx, probably not going to be the case. Thresh also not going to really be able to pull much all-ins in lane, you have to imagine. As both champions not going to
Yes.
really quite push the envelope there in the bot lane. Then top side, you got the ranged matchup into the Ambessa. Ambessa does maybe take some time to get the items going and become kind of a menace, but I mean, Kennen's going to really try to just brutalize that matchup up there, get the priority, get the leads, and set them up for success, because if the ulti combo drops without a hitch, they can get going, they can move through these fights. But 40Cs, they've had the upper hand throughout the early game in both of games we've seen thus far. This time maybe a bit more stable, not as much playmaking on either the mid lane or the bot lane. Should be like it feels like 40Cs wants to play a very stable game. Just let the game come to
Yeah,
them.
very stable. Like with, I think they're looking for Lantern to get them out of Cataclysms. They're looking for like farming on their Nyla because like Nyla's not a champ level 1. You're not really laning well until level 6 unless you're like really kill laning. And then Ornn wants to scale, and Bessa wants to farm. Ori, depending on the build, wants to build tier and scale. So I think 40 is looking to scale in that team fight lane.
Yeah, we'll see how much they can get through in the early game. Kennen going to be pushing in the Ornn. Galio can get push, I guess, with all his AoE abilities, but he is more so an immovable object in these mage matchups. And then when the skirmishes come down, like, Jarvan feels like he needs a lot more assistance when you're fighting over those early game grubs, early game dragons. Whereas Mbessa is a much more willing to just go toe-to-toe, woman up, try to beat you down in the 1v1.
Yeah, so who are the key players you're looking at in this game right here?
I think a lot. I mean, I think the easy thing to look at on Omelet is like a lot of stuff hinges on this Jarvan. Who does he put in the Cataclysm? He is the one that stirs the drink. Like Kennen has to get on a flank more likely than not. Jarvan has to be the one to get the fights going, and he has to avoid the flay. He has to make sure that he gets his right targets and doesn't position himself so that Nyla can dash out of the Cataclysm by targeting him. I believe is how that dash works. So I'm looking to Hagalav on the Jarvan, but on the side of 480Cs, I think I'm also looking at the jungle because we saw in game number 1 what Prone can do on these Bruiser champions. He completely took over the game on the Jax. He's going to have another opportunity to do so on the Mbessa. So while I'm not expecting a whole lot of ganking shenanigans and early game proactivity from both junglers, I think they are very critical to their team's success.
Yeah, I don't think the Jarvan has a lot of gank targets this time around. I mean, he's got targets, but I don't think he has a lot of helpers on his team who can really follow up that well. Like Gallo can do like a flat 300 damage. Jarvan does a flat 300 damage. Maybe it helps, but not a lot of like damage from his top or bot lane to help.
Yeah. Hopefully, we're in for another slobber knocker of a game here between Omelette de Fromage and 4DC players trying to get their first win of DMV Winter. We're going to take a short break as spectator delay is a nuisance before getting into game number 3. All right, everyone, welcome back. Game number 3 underway between Omelette de Fromage on the blue and 4ADs on the red. Omelette de Fromage riding off a roller coaster of a game number 2, trying to make sure that they can put their final stamp on it here in the opening week. Before
Yeah, I
coming
mean,
out, trying to make sure that they can rebound from a lot of calamities in the last game.
yeah, I mean, 4ADs, they had a massive advantage last game and won the first game, so they're trying to close out here. But Mozzinator, always the solo killing god of the on blue side, so into this Ori, just trying to get as much CS as he can as he's getting a little bit poked out. Same in the top lane, but reversed, as the ranged characters are just bullying the melees.
Yeah, it is Comet on the orange, so he's trying to stay even among the poke and then sustain up with his Doran's shield and everything. Weirdrum electing for the Ignite and first strike, so he's definitely looking for some lane dominance. His jungler's pathing up towards him. See if things pan out as he devises. Meanwhile, the bot side that we feel is a bit resident sleeper. But, I mean, Jarvan's here to make stuff happen early, I guess. There is an early ward coming down, so, I mean, Isco and Lyrax, the scouting coming in. They knew that Jarvan could have looked for that level 3 gank. And a recall from J4. He'll pick up a longsword and get going on his blue side.
Yeah, Mozzinator taking a good trade in this mid lane. He is down a little bit CS as to be expected, but he's trading HP well. Interestingly enough, Iska and Lyrax did get pushed somehow, but it is pushing back in on the level 3 wave. And Weirdum getting pushed in with the Ignite. I think might be good Q.
Best is also cheating down and skipping some camps for this bot side. So here's the hook from Isco. He's going to lantern in the Mbessa. And the sleeper of a bot lane is not really looking it for Dragon. First blood to prone.
Yeah, Lyrax not even an assist because beautiful hook from Isco. Dragon probably thought she was not in danger. But the hook and the lantern making some action. Maybe Thresh is just Isco pocket pick. It's working out really well so far.
Yeah, they were aware that the Jarvan could have come down early. They get their Mbessa involved early after seeding that early push with the Jarvan visit and get themselves off to the right foot. Does still feel like it's not a lane where they're going to really push the envelope that much or push their advantage until maybe level 6 comes down. But even then, Soraka is going to be pretty good at denying any sort of all-in. So see if Lyrax and Isco can push themselves to a greater lead as here's a gank in mid from Hagalaz and Potato Senpai trying to hold on for that flash as long as he can. Phase Rush gets him out just barely. Flash burn as well.
Yeah, I think he was scared about a flash auto from either of them, but as I said, they have high base damage, and after that, they're relying on autos. And it's kind of hard to chase him. He didn't base. He's staying with his refill pod.
Yeah, now Isco's behind him, so Mozzinator are going to try to walk out the bot side, flashing in for the taunt. The lantern went down on the other side, but the flay is still enough. Mozzinator knew he was dead, tried going for broke, but the solo kill was not meant to be. Not 6 times in a row.
Yeah, 4ADs. That is... Wait, they're on the right? What side's which again?
The omelets are getting round up here in the bot lane on the blue side as Lyrax takes a lantern into the Flame Chompers, but I mean, it is a... I don't even know what that item's called. It's a Jinx without anything. As Euphonia showing his base damages off with the Brittle Procs, but Weirdrum able to just scurry away, or can he? Euphonia trading flash for flash.
Yeah, I mean, Lyrax did take the lantern into the trash, but Hawklock's catching up the Thresh. And this
Thresh is silent, still able to get out with this flash.
Oh, no!
Can't quite find the death sentence. Hagalaz is going to try to loop back around here, it looks like. Not willing to let this opportunity go by the wayside. But he's just going to zone Lyrax off. I mean, there's no flash on the Nyla. Looked like that got burned as well. So Hagalaz trying to do what he can. And just setting up this Jinx for a lot of turret damage.
Yeah, a lot of third damage. First plate already down, and Moderator going in again. He is level 6, just gonna push him off the wave. But Winderum getting knocked up. Brittle Proc
Oh
is
yeah,
gonna.
here comes the
Horn's
Horn
coming down.
Horn. He is able to get it
Oh
off through the
no,
stun, but I'm not sure how much more damage he has. Does he have another Brittle Proc in him? I don't think it matters.
probably
Prone's here.
dead.
Give the kill to the Ambessa. She worked so hard for it and claims
Torpedo
all the
Senpai solo
gold.
kill.
As Mosinator got very low to a Shockwave, Oriana does now have that advantage of an actual combat ultimate, whereas Galio's heroic entrance not going to be doing too much in lane. As Prone going to try to invade here on the Gromper, gets the smite down, and now Hagala's in a whole lot of danger. He's down 2 levels, but Prone holds his trigger on the public execution. Figured, he's in the jungle. No one's going to see it. It's not that public. Don't need to do it. Still a good lead. Prone going to be able to go back and spend a lot of gold with the 2 kills he's got.
Yeah, 4AD players back to an early lead, just like the other 2 games. Let's see if they can keep it up. No one going for an early drag this time. It's not going to be Cloud Soul, so maybe the Omelets can hope for another Ocean Soul bailout. But uh-oh.
Yeah, but we will have a bit of a pause as Dragon disconnected. Should be able to go whenever it looks like they were readied up. Okay. Back into the action. As a bit of a pause there, throwing off the mid lane trades, but you will just see more of the same. Mosinair getting pushed in mid with the Galio. Knowing that Oriana has no flash, he has to be very wary of the Jarvan, especially as he gets that Cataclysm under tow. But I think the main thing we'd be surprised about here is the advantage Euphonia has been able to build in this top side. Up a good few waves, able to just survive what is a lane that looked like Weirdum wanted to draw up domination for with the Ignite with the first strike. Has not been the case. Euphonia with that Comet tech, able to fight back.
Yeah, I mean, when Ornn came out, he was like the original 200 years champ in my opinion. He got everything. He's assassin, mage, bruiser, tank, like free stats. I think the key to not dying to Ornn level 6 is that you have to stun his R2 cast. And I think Wiederum casted his ultimate a little bit too early to time the stun, so Ornn didn't get the second knockup of his ultimate off. But it is a advantage, 20 CS advantage in the top lane. Also, giving the kill over to Prone. So Prone accelerated with 2 kills, and that's what you want for your Ambessa, because again, long cooldowns early, but with items late game, complete menace.
Oh, they're trying to set something up here again. I mean, no Lantern got thrown out by Isco. Steel Tips has no flash. So this can get very, very dicey, but they didn't throw out the Dark Passage, didn't fully commit to it. So Ambessa will just go back to power clearing.
Yeah, I think they kind of do something up because Lyrax is face tanking the wave and clearing it in the middle, which is a little bit obvious posturing in my opinion. But Prone will just go back to farming, and after the early action, looks like Hagalaz didn't go for money ganks. Prone's just farming with his item advantage, probably going a little faster than Jarvan now with his extra gold. And we'll see if someone tries to go for a Drake or anything, but it just looks like normal farming.
Yeah, it may just be a split scenario. Ambessa doesn't have any camps on top side. She may just go for that dragon setup her bot side. As we have an E forward on both mid and bot side, mid and top sides. Jarvan's starting up the grubs. So even though Euphonia has been the one asserting his will, probably not going to convert into many grubbins unless he gets over there.
Down.
Galio in range as well. They're going to pop the ulti. Hagalaz, his flash is going to get him to safety as the public execution misses by a mile. As Muzinator is able to get out with his phase rush. They'll be able to pick up 2 grubs. The first time in this series where 3 grubs has not gone to the way of omelette de fromage.
Yeah, Prone also flashed there. I wonder if he thought he was in flash ulti range. But I guess, oh, at least it's not tower range, so he's kind of fine.
Yeah, this Jinx is not going to be hurting too much.
Yeah. But looks like Weirdham's still in his rough spot, but Prone down his flash and ulti. Doesn't seem like he's going to get involved in much unless they're going to go for a dive on the top side. But swing and a miss from the side of 480s, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it feels like this would be a time where the Omelets would want to push some pressure onto this dragon, and they still will. They do have to maybe respect the fact that Euphonia has TP while Weirdrum doesn't. With Prone only just now deploying back onto the map, I think they should still be fine for this early dragon. Galileo can join at a moment's notice, so... And they know Euphonia is just gonna, play for the lane. Play to kill Weirdrum maybe one more time, as Hook is there, and Isco actually wants to go for the play. The flay into the box, but Hagala still secures the dragon. Now a shockwave comes out, but they're not able to connect it. Flashes out the back of the pit, and dragon is going to be secured.
Maybe they're going for their go for broke drag strat again. It worked last game, and they get out with a few flashes. But I do want to point out that even with the early kill onto Dragon...
Oh, but now maybe we have a play as Isco is caught out, but here comes Public Execution onto the backline. Isco now trying to get away, flashes out from the Cataclysm. The Soraka heals, trying to keep everyone upright as Steel Tip's now firing back with the minigun. Lyrax trying to make his retreat. Muzinator dueling out in the mid wave as Hagalaz is going to go back in.
Super Mega Death Rocket.
The play wasn't down in time, and the Super Mega Death Rocket claims a kill, gets the move speed, and Steel Tips goes down 3-0 as Jinx is getting ready to party.
Yeah, I mean, Soraka just keeping everyone alive for so long. And I was going to point out, Steel Tip's farming well, and he's now fed 2 kills. This is not boding well for 480s, as the 180 on the other side on the Omelets is like going to be so accelerated now, going to be pumping out massive damage from really far range, and it's going to be very hard to kill with this Soraka support.
Yep, is going to be able to complete that Yuntal. So, I mean, Prone, he had that item completion of the Profane Hydra before that fight. Wanted to really make sure that he was able to get something off of that power spike. Maybe they end up going a bit too aggressive, not respecting the Soraka, not respecting the flashes from Steel Tips and Dragon there. It ends in maybe a wasted opportunity. Jarvan is going to be able to catch up a good bit here. Hits a critical flag and drag that didn't get flayed.
Yeah, with like... It looks like Steel Tip's entire BF sword up on Lyrax right now. So he is extremely accelerated. But this top lane story, Hook hits.
Yeah, this time the Hook
looks like the best is here.
With no
Dragon...
flash. We should be able to get this kill, right, guys? Soraka's going to try to run for the hills, but Lyrax in pursuit with the Ghost. We get the Fey Light down, I guess, but Soraka should still fall. You have to believe, but now you've only ulted up under tower. And Weirdrum just kills him like that. Yeah, we'll take those. It's going to be 1-for-1 across the board. But now maybe it's Potato Senpai that goes down in the mid lane as well. As he's going to try to get the Shockwave out, get some good distance. But Cataclysm is still there. Flash away. Final Q not going to connect. So Hagala is able to get that Summoner out. And maybe try to pull something off on the bot side because Steel Tips is under fire. He's going to try...
Oh, it is quite low.
He'll be fine.
Oh.
They know Jarvan and Galio are on their way. They even TP down Potato Senpai. With no Shockwave, I don't think we should really go looking for plays. So, just purely defensive. Isco is going to find a Hook. I don't think they want to start this one off, though. So, just going to duel over the wards.
Yeah, I mean, really good play by Isco so far. But I think what happened on top side is Euphonia probably went for a dive and that's the tower. I don't see any other situation in he is that low under tower. But Isco really far up, got baited.
Yeah, got way too aggressive, trying to maybe cancel some backs. Thought Prone was around to help out, but now Lyrax in a whole lot of danger. He's going to get crit out by the Rockets. Now Flag and Drag hits onto Prone. The Mbessa is caught out, trying to just dash to safety, but the final Rocket does her in. Now everything's turning up for the Omelets. As Potato Senpai, I mean, there's not much you're going to do against Galio. Massive plays on the bot side. And a full tower, probably going to go the way of the Jinx.
2 more kills and an assist for Steel Tips, an entire tower. There's going to be 2 items. This is just looking like might be a wash for the side of Omelets. Like, the early game usually from 480s is so good, but Mozinator put on a tank, building tank items, not able to get the usual solo kills. And that, but like steel tips, I played against this guy. Him on hyper carries, you can trust him to like dodge things, put up max damage, like play the ranges correctly. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do on this Jinx because he's set up so perfectly well. Perfect bait by his support and jungle there to give him 2 more kills in a full tower.
Yeah, he
But
is now
Isco
2.5k gold up as Isco gets way too aggressive.
Uh-oh.
I don't think that shockwave was ever going to be lethal even without the wish, even without the ambulance. Steel tips able to come in and harvest another kill, build on the lead. He is basically the entire lead for the side of Omelets, so if Prone can get on top of him, maybe there's a chance. Although he's going to have to work his way through the nuisance of Soraka when he does so. As Lyrax is just farming between towers, he will die. Jarvan's making his way down there. He's got no shot. And they even tried to give another one to Steel Tips with the rocket, but, I mean, he's gone. He's gone. Wave bye-bye. So last you'll see of Lyrax. Canceled. Out of here. Mousinator picks up the kill. As Steel Tips going to continue to pile drive through this mid-wave. Orianna will clear safely, but, yeah, I mean, the Jinx super accelerated. Hagalaz making a lot of good stuff happen around this bot lane as well, so full credit to him, and they're in a good position here for game number 3.
Yeah, unfortunate. As a previous Thresh main, this is kind of just the Thresh experience. Make one good play level 3, and then your champ's just worse. In my opinion. But Steel Tips wailing away on this bottom, on this mid tower still. Let's see if they can make a play with Euphonia, their strong top laner, and Isco lands the
flay. The flash comes out, and gonna be a good flash.
Hagalaz is here to
gonna go back in for it. Heroic entrance gonna crash on down. They hit onto Euphonia. Shockwave onto 2, just the front line. They're gonna look for Hagalaz. Death Sentence connects, but he's got Cataclysm. He's still making space. Flag and Dragon back in. Steel Tips trying to free fire. They get prone, and now Steel Tips has the attack speed, has the zaps coming out. Flash away from Isco. He won't find the final fading Death Sentence. Lyrax, I mean, he'll get a face check, but I don't know what he's going to do with it. Apotheosis onto Dragon. A lot of damage from the Orianna, but the flash away means Soraka's A-okay. Lyrax burning the Ghost to try to get out of this one. Steel Tips just continuing to fight. Stand and fire with the minigun. Box goes up from the Janitor, but Mousinator is dead on the bottom side of the fight. Euphonia now looking to get the pillar, but Steel Tips is on the right side of it. 2-man stun on the snap trap. Lyrax is dead. Steel Tips is just going to take over with these low health bars. He sees all that he needs.
He's gonna die.
Okay, well, you know, there's an Ornn. There's an Ornn. Slow your roll there. Ornn takes it over. That's my goat. And we will convert that into absolutely nothing because we fought with no objectives up. For what?
I mean, they're playing on edges here, and they want the kill. Steel Tips trying to clean up everyone. He does give up a shutdown to Potato Senpai, so this...
Yeah, he's just dead. Hagalaz gonna be able to find this one. We have a
shot.
shockwave
Why
from
not
distance.
be dead?
And
Phase rush, baby.
Flash. Okay, that is no ult, no flash. So this Rift Herald should be pretty good for the side of the Omelettes. They still have their cannon ult. They still have cannon flash, as he was not too involved in the last little scuffle.
Yeah, this Jinx, it's almost on his way to his LDR, halfway there. I will say, Lyrax played out on the edge pretty well, soloing out Mozinator, but Steel Tips was 2v1ing in the mid lane, and then Mozinator was also 2v1ing in the bot brush there. I think split targets really screwed them over there, was giving some gold over. But, huge pick!
Yeah, Steel Tips is stranded. Soraka's Wish comes from across the map, but it is not going to do much. Hagalaz now trying to get out. Death Sentence goes wide, but Prone wants to continue the fight. There is no shockwave on Potato, so it's just Prone going to work and lays down some Noxian diplomacy. That's the wrong champion, actually. But still, all good for Prone, as he's got those 2 lethality items locked in. Euphonia.
Yeah, I mean,
still a brick.
Huge turnaround from the side of 4ADs. Like, they're getting key caches, and then they're really turning it around. They've just, like, without Jinx, there's not enough damage on the side of the Omelets.
Yeah, and that opens the door to take this inner bot lane tower, get that gold onto Lyrax and Prone, as Lyrax actually just flashing in with the apotheosis. But Steel Tips is back from base. We need to time some of these things, as he's going to go down. Now Euphonia fighting on top lane. He's ignited. The flash away from the Ornn Horn, and a solo kill for Weirderum. Now when the bot side shockwave comes down with the Prone Tennis, they take out the Jinx. Hagalaz looking for revenge. That is not the way to start it off with a missed flag and drag, though. So Prone able to get out with that kill. a bit of a
Yeah,
mess
I mean
across the board.
that's a pretty good strategy. Just have your Ambessa dance on the Jinx, and then while he's trying to dodge the Ambessa stuff, just shockwave him, and he's dead. It
Yeah.
cannot like the Soraka healing was not enough to heal through all of the damage that Prone and the Shockwave Potato Senpai are putting down on him. And Wiederum gets a crucial solo kill on the top lane. He's starting to win this solo lane. First time in the entire series with the Ignite. Uh, I think he's actually ahead of this Euphonia Ornn, and he's going to be a threat in this side lane and in the team fights now.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing AP Kennen, you are definitely just playing a lot more for those fights. Use that Protobelt to be sticky onto the right targets. Haven't quite seen it pan out in this game, and he has kind of been just locked up in the sides for the time being. We've got a Dragon up in 50 seconds, though, and Ornn is starting to print some money. He's got an upgraded item that he handed out to his Orianna. He's got an upgraded item for himself, so that gold lead is slightly higher than it may seem for the side of 4ADs, but there is always the fact that a lot of the gold for Omelets is right where it needs to be on steel tips. We'll see if it's enough for them to contest this dragon, as they have Mosinator topside and not a whole lot of vision to speak of.
I mean, yeah, Steel Tips has got to play really careful because, once again, having no hard tank on his team is really biting his team in the butt. Like, the J4 cannot face check into this Thresh. Thresh is actually becoming a threat due to the amount of damage coming from the Ori and the Ambessa. This J4 is like getting forced out of his own jungle, and the Jinx can't safely push mid wave because oh gosh.
Oh, Shockwave, they just want to blow up the Soraka. The ambulance crashes on her way to the station as Euphonia calls down the Ornn Horn looking for an angle. He's going to turn it onto Weirdrum. A good bit of damage from the Ornn. Death Sentence connects out from Hagalaz. Jinx still trying to fire. Cataclysm to create some space. Hagalaz going forward with the flag and drag. Doesn't quite find anything. He's gone. And so playing around their vision, playing around the fog, 4 ADCs going to look for Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, even with a really ahead Jinx, if she can't hit, she can't lay out any damage, the gold lead on your AD is nothing. Like, Lyrax does not have to participate in these fights if Mosinator is not there to walk in and help his team retain vision. This is kind of the weakness of having an Enchanter support and a Bruiser jungle. You can't really walk into anything safely.
Yeah, you've got a few angles there, like Jinx W, Jarvan E to check these brushes, but when the side of 4ADs gets there first and you're going into possible death sentences, you're going into the big ol' Ornn and shockwaves, gets very dicey. But Weirdrum looking to circle around onto Euphonia. The Maelstrom is available for Weirdrum, but he thinks better of it. So it will be quite a while before we see another objective on the map. What would you like to see from either team here in this setting?
Yeah, I want to see the side of Omelet maybe drop a wave to try and get some control around the Baron and get there first, because once again, they can't really walk into the Baron. Like, if they walk in, they could be walking to a hook, an Ori shockwave, an Ornn waiting to just E a wall and knock you up. It's like very difficult for them to walk into anything. Well, I feel like the side of 4 ADCs, they can walk in with their Ornn. They can also lantern out the Ornn from any CC, so it's a lot easier for them to walk in. But if they have like a vision pocket to Jarvan EQ with or a flash Kennen ulti, like this Kennen will blow up a Lyrax or a Potato Senpai. He is quite strong, has all sums, and maybe that's what he's going
Shockwave,
for.
though, disengages it, but Jarvan's still able to force that flash. Now TP coming down from Euphonia has got the Ornn Horn ready to go, and he's gonna call it down. The Ornn Horn hits onto the Soraka, but I mean, everyone just gets out. Everyone says, you know what, guys, it's not let's not do it. There's no objective up. Baron isn't real at 24 minutes. No one has damage for it. Just calm down.
Yeah, Otacon isn't up. That means Baron's not up, right? Like, you can't play, Brent. But I think that was a kind of ambitious gauge from Wiederum. They do trade ulti for ulti, but Kennen ulti a lot more important than Ori ulti for the fight, in my opinion. And then just the 4 ADCs have got objective control over Baron now, and they're starving them out for vision. And I think it's going to be the same old. They're just trying to walk up and can't because they just have no vision.
Yeah, we do have public execution onto the Galio. He is stranded by himself in the top side in the 3v1. Prone, though, not enough damage. And now in mid lane, Potato Senpai is going to get nuked with that Cataclysm, with that Super Mega Death Rocket. He shockwaved as much as the wave as he could, but he still falls. Euphonia picks up the rest of the wave, so is going to just
I would
be
have liked to see
pressure
that.
for mid.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that kill go towards Steel Tips. It wasn't 800 gold shutdown, but maybe they can look for a fight here in a 4v5. Euphonia looking kind of far up, but I guess I don't think side of Omelets are ready to capitalize.
Yeah, Weirdrum's just going to go in with the Maelstrom. They have the heroic entrance as well. They blow up Isco, but Prone finds one kill on the backside. Lyrax, I don't know about this entrance. He's taunted up and killed on the flank. The Ornhorn comes out, but Prone has to be the miracle maker. He's able to find Steel Tips through it all. Euphonia now just going to try to walk it out as the brick wall, and he succeeds. I am very concerned as to how both ADs die, but Prone going back in. Right off the recall, publicly executes the Soraka. But now Weirdrum is here to maybe find something in return.
What are we doing here?
Euphonia's back.
We have no damage.
Puts out the pillar. Shockwave is back up and available. Weirdrum is flashed on. Clapped up by Euphonia. And now Mozinator in a lot of danger. He's got no flash. His phase rush has been procced, and there's no blast plant to bring him to safety. He'll drop some damage on Prone, but Prone will bring up his shield. Go dominate on the Rift. And Baron is maybe a bit of a pipe dream, but Prone definitely eating good after that fight.
Just a bad overextension from the side of like the Omelets. I feel like without without Jinx, with just your Galio and your Kennen, you don't have damage to punch through Mbessa, especially without Kennen ulti. They could have just backed off and taken their advantage. Also, I feel like maybe better target selection. If they'd just gotten Prone, they can just walk back to the Baron with their Jinx alive. But wishful thinking. I think this next, it's going to be a similar setup, but both Drake and Baron are going to be up, so maybe it'll be just a Drake fight. The side of Omelets with 2 Drakes, and the Infernal Drake would be very nice for them. So we'll see which side they decide to play for.
Yeah, I mean, generally it feels like when you look at, you know, our Jinx is on 3 items, Nyla hasn't been able to get to 3 items yet, we feel like we should be able to dictate these fights. Has not been the case. They're down 3k gold, Ornn items continuing to pile through as well. And they have not pulled off quite the angles they've wanted to. Once again, we see Vision getting choked out here on the bot side by Isco. Infernal Dragon is spawning, and I don't think there's much the Omelets can do about it. They're going to send Kennen up top, just try to trade something on the map.
Yeah, I feel like they're trading drag for positioning on the map towards Baron, but they're going to TP towards top, and top is pushed for the time for the side of Omelets. They're going to position on Baron, but they don't have a lot of deep wards or vision control, so I don't think they did the best they could with that turn, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're going to continue to see Vision around Baron become the focus now, as, I mean, even with the bit of wave priority they could get, Omelet's still going to be mostly in the dark, as Prone is just going to go forward onto Hagalaz. Shockwave is not coordinated well. A lot of ultis going left, right, and center, but that one connects with the public execution. They can't silence the Mbessa in time, but Weirdrum is able to get away. A whole lot of
with the
sparks.
Soraka healing, he's full HP.
Yeah, it's a bit of balance right there. But he doesn't have the ult, he doesn't have the flash. He's not going to be really useful. Is that enough for ADs to just say, you know what, guys, it's been a long night. Let's just get out of here, throw the game right now? It is not. They are playing it disciplined, giving up some vision as Lyrax has to push out the mid wave. Overall, just
they
no
did push him
overextensions.
off, and Prone did use his ulti. A lot of ultis down for the side of 480, so it looks like Omelets are just going to start this up with their Jinx. Dragon's going to get up the Honey Fruit. Oh my god, Baron does more damage now. What the hell? But they're going to back up because Prone's angling. They're going to look for Prone. Oh, Lyrax flank?
Yeah, but that's
Is this
just...
real?
He's going to get the apotheosis.
Oh my
he does actually
God,
turn it
it worked.
around. As now Steel Tips is caught on the top side. Prone finds the one target he needs. As Mozinator now trying to walk this one out, but he is not long for this world. Potato Senpai finds the kill. as now Isco is going to try to lantern them forward to take everything they can off the Rift. Dragon going to flash away from the death sentence, but Potato is still on the chase, has the shockwave, blows up the goat, and now Hagalaz is running away, the last survivor. And 4AD's able to take a big fight. We didn't even really see how Steel Tips got caught on the top side. He's winning all over and now setting up for Baron.
I'm gonna guess it was Mbessa just moving on him. Unfortunately, we have not seen the Hagalaz Mozinator Dre4 Galio combo. And the engage from the side of Omelets have not been synced enough, with Weirdum going for the solo ulti onto Larix and losing the 1v1. It's a little bit unfortunate.
Now primed up with a 7k gold lead. Baron, buff, all the ornaments they could ever want. 4AD is definitely not letting that turbulent game 2 get them down. They are still fighting well here in game number 3. See what they can convert off this Baron. Is there anything specific you'd like to see them accomplish with this buff?
I think just knock down the mid and bot towers. I think those are the easiest ones to do right now, the wave states, and that's where they're angling. But actually, it looks like he's going top, and Myers is top, so maybe they just go top mid. Just a side tower and a mid tower. I want to see how they pull and sync the waves, though, because 2 waves crash at once. Just have some people next to it, bearing it up. But it doesn't look like they sync the waves, so it looks like Omelet can actually ping pong back between their mid-tier mid-inhib and their tier 2 pretty well, because they're not synced up super well right now, and Dragon's doing a good job of healing her team. Is that 400 per W? Holy moly.
Yeah, but the Kennen is not
Kennen has
exactly
no wave.
a wave clear demon. He's not able to do much up against the Ori and the Baron wave. Now hitting on top side, they get that tower down as well, so see if they want to make any aggressive move for the inhibitor, but overall, I think things are looking very good for the side of 4ADs. And I mean, I think Prone is once again having a fantastic game. I don't know if he came into this tournament expecting to play jungle, given his previous escapades in DMV involved the bot lane and the support role, but he's been playing the Jax to huge effect in game number 1. This Mbessa is finding critical targets at critical times. Euphonia, he is not that critical of a target. He will be fine. As now here comes public execution onto Weirdrum. He's going to drop the Maelstrom, and they're going to throw everything with the heroic entrance. Maybe an overstep by Prone. He's going to drop it to the Guardian Angel. We'll see if he's going to be able to pick up the Lantern, but he's on the snap traps. He's going to still get a lot of damage down with these Shockwave coming on through. Prone staying alive as long as he can. Now flashing out to safety. Steel Tips has to contend with the GOAT, and he can't do enough damage. The 4ADs are pushing through. Another execution on the Axiom's Arc. And Prone is putting on a show. Steel Tips is not going to do enough. It's just Dragon Soraka alive, and I don't think there's much he can do to stop 4ADs.
Wow. Prone lived after his Guardian Angel, completely carries the fight. I don't know how he lived. Death Stance healing or something, but all the eyes were on him, and he survived, ending the game. Take it away, Chance.
Yeah, I mean, a great 3-game series to open us up in DMV Winter 2026. Good stuff from Prone. Potato Senpai holding his own after getting solo killed so much throughout this series. Take it away, Michael.
I mean, yeah, I think Prone just flexing his muscles. I don't know what role this guy plays, but like, he's just took games 1 and 3 into his own hands, lands perfect execution after perfect execution in game 3, gets caught out, but like, lives somehow, puts the shockwave on himself, and like trades out, lives, and drain takes the entire enemy team. Really strong showing from Steel Tips as the main carry of his team. I think he had a great game. Mozvader, valiant effort in the series as well. Solo killed Demon, but unfortunately the 4ADs were stronger this time around and take the match.
Yeah, great stuff from 4ADs to get them started off on the right foot. That is going to be it for us today. A great 3-game series to kick off DMV Winter. We do have games throughout the week, but please stay tuned for information on whether or not people will be streaming those and if they will looks like we only have one game throughout the rest of the week up until the weekend. So we'll see what we have left in store to wrap up week number 1. But for now, we'll be signing off from DMV Rivals, wishing you a very nice night and a wonderful Monday evening. Although I guess it's 10:30 at this point.